liquid choice and the key was mine. This is what you made me. Do you like it? Do you like it? Fuck it, feed it, you like it, you need it. It's everything you wanted to be. Fuck it, feed it, you like it, you need it. It's everything you wanted to be.
Take it to And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luke O'Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! We just heard Klepto with a K-L-E-P-T-O. Whoa. Morgan. Whoa. By One Steel Wound, and that's a new single released this past weekend. And then we heard a Fate to Suffer track that was Death Dealer, and that's also brand new. Thanks to the band for sending us their music to feature. I'm Luke O'Blaze with Morgan Danielle, rocking out in the back of Fitz's Spare Keys. I ate a ton of tacos tonight. I am full as fuck.
Pizza.
And pizza. Oh.
Wait, when did you have tacos?
Column A, column B.
I
saw him eating them right before the show.
I just ate tacos.
They
he was
came,
just
they
eating 'em
went,
right
I
here.
didn't see, like...
I ate them.
You were like right there. I
I
walked in
I
and he
can
was
smell
eating.
him
Right
from
here.
here right now as he speaks.
I didn't know what was happening. I
I
was
can
like
smell your
literally
taco breath.
oblivious for those 20
That's
minutes,
why
I
you use
guess.
the same mic.
Fucking
So-
weird.
We're rocking out here with us in the back of Fitz's Lanes for the fourth time. The fourth time.
What?
Prison City Brigade. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce? We got some virgins,
That's me.
but Eddie,
In
the
two
OG.
ways.
So for those that are new,
That was
we'll
good.
ease you in slowly to this.
We'll lube you up a little bit.
All Eddie's got to do is introduce himself, and then you guys can introduce yourselves.
And then who's missing tonight?
And then we'll get down into the dirty. So
Right on.
All right.
this is your one time, just kind of dip your toes in, and then
Then we dip our balls in.
Let's
I'm
go straight
Eddie,
for the balls. Come on,
the
Eddie.
vocalist of Prison City Brigade.
You're not
And-
doing guitar anymore?
No, that's why he's here.
Okay.
Hello.
He took that over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, my name is Jose. I just recently joined the band. I would say about 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh, he's
Like
Roughly.
3 months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, as the
Wow.
drummer after Andrew kind of went out. So that's me now.
And I am Zach. I am the guitarist. Woo.
Lead guitarist.
Much excitement.
woo!
And who are we
Whoa.
missing tonight?
Our bass player, Paige, actually unfortunately had to work tonight, as well as our rhythm guitarist, Brandon, who is usually accompanying me on these things.
It was very sad to hear that he's not going to be here today.
I was really hoping
Sorry, man.
that Brandon and I could compare mustaches.
Actually, he does not have the mustache. He had to get rid
yeah.
of it.
He got rid of it.
What do you mean he had to get rid of it?
You got to remember, in the line of work as a fireman and a paramedic, unfortunately, the stash.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought
Well,
firemen
okay.
were the ones who had the best stashes
Hold
out
on, hold
there.
on. He can have the stash. He flip flops it on. Firemen, police, and all that. You can have the mustache. You can have the big bush fucking porn stash. It don't matter. Just keep it trim, make it look nice. He just flips on and off. He gets rid of it, then he takes it, and he gets rid of it, takes it.
I'm watching you.
Hey,
All
like,
right.
no, you better get that
Calm
shit back
down.
because we're
Better get that
we're in a
stash back.
competition now.
I'll say, when he still had it or whatever, it was nice and burly, like Tom Selleck almost.
Tom
Nice,
Selleck,
dude.
Seleckian
1970s Ron Jeremy.
I was hoping we could have intertwined upper lip hairs, but now we can't.
Well, you can wait for a different day. Don't worry. We're gonna.
It will happen. I
We're
guarantee
booking
it.
Prison City Brigade for 2020 after this,
Oh,
so you'll
nice.
see
We'll
him
be
again. So while we talk about dates really quickly, back into the archive, the vault, as some may say. If you go onto themetalexperience.com, you can find all of our past episodes. And hey, fun thing, there's a search bar. So if you're looking for somebody, you can search the name of the band and it pops right up.
Say
Wow,
what?
easily
So,
accessible.
The
I
first
love it.
time that you came on with Prison City Brigade was June 21st of 2016, and then you came on November 29th of 2016, just a few months later, and then November 7th of 2017. So that is a blast from past for sure. And then I'm
But
trying to
then-
see if it comes up. Raise the Stakes was our 7th episode ever, and
Ever.
you were
Wow.
on
Wow.
September
Wow.
6th of 2011.
Part of history there.
How many episodes are you in now?
368.
Damn.
Well, I didn't realize that
368.
Raise the Stakes was number 7 at that point. Wow.
Number
now I-
7.
Now you know.
Now I feel old.
Fun
Thank
things.
you.
As he.
It's okay. That's what we're here.
okay.
We're here to drink, to catch up, and to play
You
some
feel old. Look at my
jams.
gray hair, asshole.
But it looks great on you.
That's
It looks great.
debatable.
I don't know.
Not a silver
I've been
fox.
giving out.
Younger than him.
See,
I
he
know.
said it too. We've been giving out our Christmas cards already, and a few of my friends have made the comment of, "Oh, that silver fox you got
That's
there."
silver
There you go.
fox, exactly.
You tell your friends I'll fucking fight them.
I think then you get a bunch of people yelling at you for women abusing.
Anyway, moving
what?
on.
Oh,
Whoa,
boy.
what?
Because the
Moving on.
girls
Wait,
that make
moving
these
on.
comments, he's gonna
I'll
fight a
bare-
bunch of women.
I'll bare knuckle box these
Silver
ladies.
fox
Bare-knuckle
is
boxing all over.
Boxing Day is not till December 26th. Remember.
December 26th.
Six.
Nope, this Saturday, Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. Thank you very much.
I will bare knuckle fight these ladies.
crazy.
With
Start selling tickets.
the Christmas card, Morgan is all like, "Oh, we're gonna do a Christmas card," and I fucking hate like getting my picture taken, even though we do a picture every.
he just hates
episode.
Christmas.
And I hate Christmas. I'm a Grinch. Fucking Christmas is lame.
See,
The
Anyway.
Grinch
Using
didn't
the
hate
word.
Christmas.
Yes.
The Grinch hated people, and that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was a little column A, column B.
Was he really?
Christmas
though?
guilty association by the dipshit knowing who's.
Well, that's just, how, that's just
Okay.
how they fucking were. But the problem is, he just hated the people, which is very fair. I hate people too.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm on his side.
He hated everything about it. Hence his tiny little heart at the end.
Well, they grew 3 sizes way in the end.
Oh.
True.
Oh, references.
But
So-
that's when he started falling in love with the people. Really, he probably just wanted to get his Grinch dick
Didn't
wet by
someone
the end
fall
of
in
that.
love
Sold
with
out.
you?
The Grinch dick.
No one falls in love with me. I'm a fucking asshole.
No, you're a possum. Get it right.
Everyone hates me. They just want to fucking stomp me out with their brooms and shit.
Jeez.
Hey, but you know what? Possums are very useful animals because without them, you would have a high tick population.
Very true.
You
and
eat
they
they
eat
are
a
also
bunch
immune
of
to
bugs,
rabies.
and they are great for the environment. So without
Mm-hmm.
him, you guys would be nothing.
I believe it's
Boom.
possums can't get rabies from
They
possums.
cannot get rabies.
Nope.
No.
Let's go get bit by possums, dude.
They've got
Possums
very
can
sharp
actually
teeth.
be
just so
very
you know.
affectionate
All right.
if they're
They
domesticated.
can.
See, now
I've
we're
met
talking about
one. His name is
possums.
Oscar. He's at Big Run Wolf Ranch out in Lockport. Anyway,
Cool story,
Ah,
bro.
like I
Say-
wanted to hear more of that.
There was a baby.
I could go in my
possum that-
backyard and find one.
I'll say there was a baby possum that wound up
Hey,
in my
possums
mudroom
will just
last
fucking.
year.
in your bedroom,
No, mudroom, like our patio room
Oh,
at home.
okay.
And it's like I heard something scurrying around and everything. I go out there and shine my flashlight, and he's just sitting up there, and I'm like, "All right, dude, you gotta go." And
Bro.
he looks at me like, "No, sorry." Goes back to whatever he was going to, and I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm done tonight."
And now he lives there. He pays
now
rent.
that is the
He's
punk
somewhere,
rock
I'm sure.
attitude.
I got hold on, time out. I got 2 groundhogs living underneath my house.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's not my choice.
They pay rent?
I wish.
The good,
They get fed,
getting
they
a
get
free
fed
hotel.
fruit
Fucking-
and everything
that's
like
what
that.
I'm saying,
you know?
like they're just
the
fucking
good thing is
freeloading over
though,
there.
then you won't have to watch on Groundhog Day whether or not you'll get 6 more weeks of winter or not. 'Cause
This is
you
true.
can just
You
watch
can
them come
just
out
do
from
that right
underneath
there.
your house.
They don't come out, period.
They
except
don't
in
come out
spring-
at all.
In springtime, they're running all over the
Well,
damn
us
place.
Well,
punks
then you
know a
know.
lot about squatters, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you chase them around?
Hell no.
Why
Do you
not?
have names for them?
Do you want to get bit by a groundhog?
I'll chase one.
You can come to my house sometime, Luke.
I'll bring
It's
my
like,
gun.
go ahead and try. Let's see what happens.
Can I bring my gun?
No.
Bring a slingshot.
Can I bring my
I
slingshot?
got one in
You
my
can bring
truck.
your slingshot. That's fine.
There we go.
That's my defense when I'm doing deliveries for Jimmy John's. I've got my slingshot.
Slingshot?
In there.
Just got my slingshot in my back pocket. That's
Bring
awesome.
it on. Steal my tips. Watch what happens.
I will shoot a rock at your head.
Hey, people get scared when you hold the rubber band too far. If you hold the slingshot, they go, all right, dude. I'm sorry. I'm done. All right.
So this is a new lineup for Prison City Brigade. You've got some new faces that you brought to the show. So tell us, last time you've been on since 2017. The new lineup change. How long has it been this lineup, and how'd you meet everybody?
Basically, the new lineup change and everything came while recording our last album, Trials of Survival. Our drummer at the point from War on Boredom had left the band. We found a full-time through Andrew who had work tonight because he works overnights. Which point he helped me write a lot of the material, and then Zach came into the picture in regards to adding a lead guitarist, and
Little known fact, I was allowed behind the scenes before I came in.
he
I
was.
loaned PA speakers, helped out for shows and house shows and so on. And I was actually the one who brought Andrew into the band.
And the funny part is, I tried to get you to join the band about 2 years prior to the band,
True.
but we had
But
nothing.
I
We had
was-
nothing going on either.
Yeah, I was
You got-
also with Rhodes End at the time, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You got suckered
You
into
had
it.
I was
dreads.
in
You
the
had
number-
dreads. You
Yeah.
had dreads.
My long dreads.
Dread
God,
pirate.
I missed them.
The Dread Pirate was real.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically Zach came in,
December 2017.
wrote, which actually, yeah, about a month after the last time we were here.
It was like Carnival and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I wrote Carnival and Masks and that instrumental on the album. Trials of Survival.
And then basically he wrote the leads, joined the band from then. And then Jose over here, Andrew got married back in September. And he had said that... I thought you were going to do the funeral march at that point, but still. that's taps. Anyway,
Close enough.
basically, Andrew had been
you don't
saying
need a trumpet player?
he is very ska influenced, so
Very much
Yeah.
so.
You don't
can
need
hear
an
it on the-
instrument.
Look, I'm in
You
mortuary
just-
school. I'll give a whole eulogy and everything right now.
No.
anyway, but Andrew
Bye, Andrew.
Andrew had said that after he got married, he'd be taking a step back from playing drums. So, to make the transition easier, we were looking for a new drummer. Jose filled in for drums on us a few years ago at a show.
It was awful. I really fucked up that show. Here's the problem is I had one day to prepare.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I got told that I can fill in for the drums, and
But we're playing tomorrow.
it was like one day of preparation that I could get right. So I went over to their house and I started practicing with them. We practiced throughout the entire set like twice, and I had to go because I had shit to do. I had work like the next day and whatnot, and then I had to go to the show. So I was sitting there at the show, like listening to their live compilation or whatever on Facebook, trying to just like make sure I get this right. So I overthought it. So we start the first song, which was at the time, what was it?
No
it was,
idea. This is
It
20.
was Take Back Your Scene.
Okay.
Because that was the one we wanted to do first because that one has the tempo changes.
Right,
So we
right.
wanted to make sure that one went right. So I nailed that one. And then after that, everything just kind of drew a blank. And we played Frequencies.
No, mixed
No.
signals.
Mixed Signals.
Frequencies and all that wasn't around
Yeah,
yet.
we played Mixed Signals, and I stopped like 2 verses early. Eddie looks back at me, and he just kind of goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We still have 2 verses left." And I was like,
This was
shit,
back
let's
during
start playing
this was
again.
back during my heavy drinking period in the band. I will.
"Oh, it
admit
wasn't
that.
his fault. I fucked it up pretty bad, you know." And then pretty much any time after that, I either stopped too late or stopped too early for every single song after that. So what happened was,
At least for the bulk of the song, though, there were drums.
Yeah, I was able to keep the rhythm just fine, you know, but I kind of freaked out. But here's the thing is, it was, I think, you know, right before I joined the band, they were asking for a fill-in drummer for one of their shows. Where was it?
Liars Club.
Where, no, it wasn't Liars Club. It was where Ray played.
Oh,
The
God.
Wire.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was that
Yeah.
show.
I pushed that show out of my memory.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that was
there
not
was
good.
another fill-in drummer that played for that. So they were asking for it on Facebook, and I made a joke
You were
to Eddie.
asking for it, Eddie.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was.
Oh, they were
always-
asking
Oh
for
yeah,
it real
quite
hard.
a bit.
Gonna make some
Anyway,
jokes, but
So, Jose hits me up and everything. I don't remember the show he fucked up.
I just tell him jokes basically like, "Oh, you guys don't want my services." You
And
know?
I don't remember it. And then as time went on, it's like, oh, I do remember that. Fuck it, it's done. It's over with, you know. At which point he actually came out to the show that we had the fill-in drummer at.
He was
And
awful.
after we got done, he looked at me and he's like, dude, when can I practice with you guys?
Basically, well, you had told me over text that Andrew was going to be stepping down.
Yep.
And so I was like, you were saying, and I was like, "Are you offering me a tryout?" You
And
know?
actually, Andrew's the one who sent you to us to begin with.
yeah, Andrew's because I met him when I was working at Amazon.
Right.
That's why I got the fill-in spot in the first place. So after that, it was, you know, when I was texting you and you were saying like, "Oh, well, Andrew's stepping down at some point." I was like, "Are you really offering me, the guy who fucked up your show?" You know. And you were
I
like,
had no memory of him fucking up until about 3 days later. I'm like, fuck it. Let's see what's going on.
We just figured we'd try it out, and now I think it's going well. I personally
I
think
would say
it's
it's
going
going well.
He-
No, man, you came in and you started killing it, and we clicked. The chemistry was right there, right
Don't
off
give
the
me
bat.
a big head, man. Don't give me a big head.
Oh, I'm not. I'll tear you down. But I'll point out all
Jose's
the other
growing.
shit.
It's like,
No.
Hold on.
You have the littlest head.
I don't think these headphones are even gonna fit. I gotta.
Divorce will do that to you.
Yes, it will. Let me tell you, divorce will do that to you. I was living in New Mexico for a year, and then I came back here, and that's when all this started. And now life is even better. So.
It's kind of funny. A lot of us moved back. Like I was living in New Orleans at the time, and I moved back, and then I helped you get a drummer. No, was it when I got back from New Orleans? I helped you guys get Andrew, because that's when I started helping you out with the PA and everything.
It was about then, yeah.
Yeah, because I was living in New Orleans for quite a while, and then I came up and I hooked up with a band after a while, moving back up here in Chicago, helping you guys out, and then finally just like Lamp goes, hey man, the guitars we had left, you want to come in, fill in for a little while? Yeah, all right. I started playing, and then I get told enough. I think it was you at the show. You're in full time. Yeah, dude. And drunk and a skunk. I was like, looks like I'm in this band now.
Again, I used to
you
drink
had the
a
right
lot
of
at
passage
shows.
at that point, and you're already in.
You're in. You made it.
So yeah, meet the new lineup of PCB.
Yay! So the new album that you were talking about that you had written, The Trials of Survival. When
Yes.
did you officially release that?
That was released August 24th of 2018.
Okay.
Damn,
so
your
still,
memory's good.
Still new.
I know.
but-
Apparently, I was drunk as a skunk on stage, but I nailed
Dude,
all
we
the
all
lyrics.
fucking were.
Back when Bada Brew was still around.
Bada Brew, and then The Spot, and now it's gone again.
Everyone saw it coming.
So,
Of course, everyone saw it coming. I mean, I'm not sure if we can get into the legality of it, but there's absolute
just-
reasons why.
And we stop you right there. This is where I make your head small again.
That's not the big head.
I mean,
told
I
you guys I don't
could
have
mute microphones.
I do not have a
gotta
filter.
Go like,
I told you that.
Hey, come stop.
Get security.
So, who did you record that album with?
We actually recorded that album with David Francis from Third City Sound in Joliet.
Nice.
It's actually there's a studio right above Chicago Street Pub in downtown Joliet, and you wouldn't know it unless you knew it was there.
Unless you track the stairs all the way to like the top.
Hey, you know what? That whole area though is really
Oh, that
cool.
was really
that
cool.
whole building's cool as hell.
What was not cool is hauling the fucking half stacks and everything up that 3 flight of stairs.
I'm sure
was
that
You're
was
almost
fucking
here. Come
chore.
on.
That's why you guys.
Pretty
It
much.
worked. It
That
worked.
worked.
No, that's why you guys are glad to have a Mexican in the band now because I have to carry everything.
Whoa.
Whoa! I'm a full-blooded Mexican. I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can't say shots fired if you're pointing it at yourself.
Can we though? Can we?
And then like everyone else here went dead fucking silent.
And me just laughing my ass. I'm like, are we allowed to laugh at that? 'Cause they look
I
at
don't
me.
know
Is
what
it
to
cool?
say.
Whoa! Whoa!
If you say so.
Oh, jeez.
Mexican approved.
Well, let's play.
I
You
warned
sent
you
me.
guys before the podcast. I warned you.
She's gonna force the break now. Here we go.
Yes. Well, I wanna play a track off of it since Eddie had just sent me 3 of the tracks off that album, and you actually had mentioned a couple of the songs that you had helped wrote. So I wanted to
Helped wrote?
So you said
helped
you
and
wrote Carnival.
Wrote it.
Yes.
Is it okay if we
I-
start off with
go
that? 'Cause
right ahead.
I want to
Yep.
hear what you contributed to start your introductory into the band. So
Something completely
Absolutely.
different than
Woo.
Yeah.
PCB.
here
That's
we go.
very true.
Do it.
Waking, and there is no mistaking. My sanity is breaking. Subconsciously, I'm falling deeper into it. However, no matter the endeavor, these ties must be
And now, back to the metal experience.
Did you say hookers and blow?
No, I said the metal experience.
That's not nearly as good. Fuck you! Will you wear the blood? So you swallowed up.
This is Justin.
This is Dustin
Austin's J&D,
of the so-called Saints.
or so-called Sense,
Tell your boys
or Smiley Boys.
you're listening to the Metal Experience.
Boom.
Woo! That was a tasty city pretty given.
Totally.
There's no starting over for stupidity.
The whole time I'm thinking, I was like, I was like, survive ale. Like, I don't, for some reason I'm trying to read this, but in my mind I'm thinking, survive ale.
Survive Ale. It's our new
Like how you
beer
say
coming
that.
out later.
Survive ale.
Morgan, you don't want to let me start over again. Okay.
Nope.
That was not gonna
Deal with it.
Prison City Brigade's song, Carnival.
Evil.
And that was off the CD Trials of Survival, or Survive
Ale.
When you say that, do you do the?
The pinky?
Oh, of course, survive ale.
That's the pose tonight. We've done Captain Morgan. Now we'll do Dr. Evil.
But wait,
Trademarked
Morgan,
pose for tonight.
the Captain Morgan statue is out. Like,
Oh.
it's on the ground over there. We
Don't
can,
make me. Jose, don't forget. Jose, he didn't even know what we were talking about.
There's pictures later you could have saved that for,
Well,
but it's okay.
Jose, we'll sext you the pictures.
Oh my God! Thank you. I've never seen it before in my
What
life.
would we do without you? So how is writing with this group compared to how it was before? Like, how have you guys changed things around?
Basically, compared to like War on Boredom and then going into Trials of Survival, you know, we've evolved musically, adding in members that it goes by our original standpoint of adding in members influenced by different.
What's going on? Keep going. What are you doing?
What's going on?
Adding different influences
date
and
within the
everything like that.
band.
You were
It's helped evolve the band, I guess.
You were mid-word.
Hey,
What's going on?
Aging is mandatory. Growing up is not. Always remember that. Okay.
Very true, very true. But no,
Not unless it's formaldehyde. No.
says the mortician over there.
Whoa.
But no, like the only thing that's really changed, we still write something for everyone. I mean, it's the whole aspect of you don't like this song, go to the next. You may like it. If you don't, there's probably about 9 others on the CD.
Go to the next.
But
the next. Oh,
at
you
the
didn't
same
like the
point,
album?
you know,
Yeah, where's the next CD then? No.
oh, damn. We keep striving to push ourselves better and just keep going, you know.
Exploring the creativity, trying new things, trying new equations, trying new ways to write, trying new ways to put things out there. Instead of like keeping it the same.
That was
yeah,
a new way to put
absolutely.
something out there.
The
Why not?
frequencies of that was amazing.
The acoustics in this room with that bird.
So for your second take, I want you to try to go lower.
Go lower, right?
Try to emphasize
like
your
a behemoth
O's.
growl in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Aim for a low G. You know?
Aim for a low G. No,
Hey.
I'll find the brown note. I got it.
Hold on, speaking
Find
of
the brown.
The microphone is not going to be available for the brown note. Okay?
Yeah, we're just gonna take that away.
Okay, let's not do that.
Get close to the camera
Recreate
though.
the South Park epidemic, you know?
hit the fucking brown note.
Hit the fucking brown note. I'll be there.
you're the one that'll end up catching it, Luca. Just saying.
Dude, I'll fucking
just saying.
shit all over the place.
Well,
That is my whole quest of why I play guitar. is find the
angle of
brine note.
trajectory, you know.
That's true. That's true. Very nice.
Define the brown.
Find the brown note. No, well. If I
How
were to
does
get
a drummer find the brown note?
A drummer does not find the brown note. We do not have enough floor toms available.
We will find the way.
You guys.
Do you know their way?
Do you know the way,
You
my
know the
brother?
Rest in peace, Uganda Knuckles.
Can you
man.
find the
You had
brown
no
note to my
chance.
brother?
Morgan, I'm sure you've
I
realized.
don't know where to go from here.
I'm sure you realize this is a different type of crowd
Yeah.
interview and everything.
I
Hello.
warned you.
All brown note.
How'd the interview go? We talked about the brown note for like 2 hours. It got really heated too.
And then
So it went
Paige is
fabulous.
and then Paige is gonna be sad that she missed it because she'd pull out some random instrument and hit the brown note.
Boom.
Yeah, but then we'd all shit our pants at that point.
I'm
Worth
down,
it.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
totally
then the,
worth it.
Sell
then
it.
the smell of the tacos would go away.
Oh,
man.
man.
Actually, no, that's not right. It actually probably get worse.
Yo, it'll get worse.
Yeah.
It'll definitely get worse.
All right, so
going
show-wise, I know this. We'll be talking a little bit about this in our upcoming couple of episodes as well, just because we're wrapping up 2019. So this is the last month
What a year.
of the year.
What a year.
Let's talk about some of the highlights that you guys
year.
have had this year. Show-wise, what were your favorites? What were some of your favorite shows that you may have attended? It could be local, could be national acts. What do you
Favorite
guys?
2019 moments.
What did you guys have going on as a band this year?
Fuck, most of mine's been a blur with school and a lot of drinking and work.
I was going to say, most of mine's been a blur because of drinking. So.
Well, I guess I'll take the reins on this one.
Yeah, you go first. I got to think for a while.
Thank you, Eddie. No.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably one of my favorite shows that I played this year was at Porter's Tap back in August, and the reason why is because that was Jose's second show as our drummer. But
he did better this time, right?
no,
'Cause
actually,
obviously
the first
it was
show.
a highlight.
Actually, this kind of segues.
Gotten a little bit better.
This kind of segues into one of my other favorites. The first show Jose, actually played with us
At Liars Club.
was at Liars Club in Chicago.
That show was.
That was the first time we've ever
fucking
played Liars Club,
amazing.
especially on a Sunday night. And Zach decided he had his wireless guitar set up.
He was running out into the crowd and everything.
Somebody's birthday. It was
yes.
somebody's
You can tell
birthday.
it. You can tell it. You deserve this.
Somebody's
Oh my.
birthday.
Well-
This was definitely one of my favorites.
He was trying to get someone to feed him cake while he's
All right,
solo.
so-
Here we go.
I was going on I can't remember what song was it. Was it Brigade?
Brigade.
Yeah, going Brigade.
It doesn't matter.
There
Yeah,
was
it's
somebody's birthday going on. I got the wireless, and I like to run around when I have the wireless. Unfortunately, it's down right now, but I love to run around. I love to interact with the audience and so on, playing the set. So I run out by the bar at the other end of the Liars Club, and there's fucking cake everywhere. And then there's this dude just like staring at me this entire time. And I'm like looking at him like, dude, point at him, you. Feed me fucking cake. I gotta keep this song going, but you feed me cake. And he's just like, you can have some if you want. I'm like, no, fucking feed me the cake. Give me
My
the cake.
hands are busy, sir.
Well, he didn't get the cake, but as soon as I finished the song, I grabbed a handful of cake. But one of my favorite moments there was the bartender, or I think he was the owner.
It was
Wasn't he?
it was one of the
Booker,
two.
yeah.
Fucking.
So we were going to another part of the song, and I was just having fun, shredding up a little bit of the guitar. And the dude looks at me and gives me a thumbs up and sticks the horns out and tells me to wait. And I'm like standing right there. I'm like,
You're like,
oh, wait, what am I
"All right,
waiting
I'll
for? Are we
wait."
going to do a shot? Yeah, all right, I'll do a shot. Maybe
like,
this
I'll
guy will
fucking
feed
do
me
it.
cake. This will be great.
Go to the loony bin again where they pour fucking liquor down your throat.
So he grabs a fuck ton of bar napkins and just yeets them up into the ceiling fan
says
right
yeets them?
above me. So I
What?
go in like power
He threw
move
him
stance.
up over him, like almost like
Yeah,
making
like
it
a
rain.
handful.
Bar napkins.
Made it
completely
like
making it rain
Yep.
on him.
Made it rain, full confetti, bar napkins all around me, landing on me in the guitar while
Now,
I'm just going to town, and he's rocking out on the bar.
The best part is, we're all still on stage, about a good 50
I
feet
have no
away.
choice
They're
but to
just
be on
watching
stage.
this like
Thank you very
20, 30
much.
feet away.
I don't see Zach. All I see is just napkins go up in the air. I'm like, the fuck
Like, it
just
was a good, like,
happened?
5-6 inch stack. He just fucking threw up there. And
literally
it went
There is a
everywhere.
photo of just napkins on the ground somewhere.
It was a
It was
lot
amazing.
of napkins. But
You know.
it was awesome.
But-
it was awesome.
Going back to the week later at Porter's Tap, we didn't have Lamp.
It was
Brand-
us three.
It was just us three.
Us three right here, right now.
I got to play guitar that night and sing, and I think a table almost got broken that night.
We fucking killed it
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah, it was a very, in a
was a
very
rowdy
I
small
was drunk
dive.
as fuck too.
Very small dive
I was
bar.
slowing down because I was so like dried out because I had drank so much, and I was just like, holy shit, I can't keep doing this. And then we were supposed to play Time and Fear, which is like double time, and I was like, dude, I'm about to fucking die.
It's only double time because that's how you play it.
Right.
You're welcome.
But
That was another good one.
all-
Though on the tour we did earlier this year, Columbus, Ohio, the Shadow Zone.
Oh God, yes.
So the Shadow
Yes.
Zone, Columbus, Ohio, it was a DIY venue. It was a house. It fucking seemed like an antique show house. Like there's a bunch of cool, gnarly stuff everywhere, stuff from movies and whatnot. It looked like a legit like haunted house. Like you could go walk through a museum.
Shout out to
antique
Charlie
place.
from Everlasting Godstopper out there for helping us
Guy's
in the
fucking
clutch.
killer. Him and the whole band and all of them.
Oh, damn straight.
And the venue itself was downstairs where we go play at, and it was a caged area. We had a full drum riser, full stage, and we started playing, and everyone's mosh pit ramming up against the stage. We'd ram up against the fence. There was like a chicken wire fence all around
All right,
us.
so
and
Take
we would
down
ram
that
up
shit.
against
think
it.
of
Take
the,
that
hold
shit
on,
down.
It was a
think
blast.
of the Roadhouse scene from Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Without the bottles being thrown.
Pretty much.
Jeez.
There was a fight that broke out.
Yeah.
I was standing right next to it.
Yeah, he was being his wireless self out in the crowd.
I went out to the crowd around the fence, and I start playing around and kind of like bumping into everyone, just having a lot of fun, keeping the energy rolling and all that. And the next thing I know is there's a fight going. And I'm like, oh shit, and I move, and I look over, and the guy's looking at me, he's talking to me, and I have no idea what the fuck he said, and I said something to him. Next thing I know, it's right in front of my face. It's right at my feet. And I start going backwards. I'm like, shit. I gotta move. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the fence. I don't know what this fight's about.
Well, the best part
Later on, I found what the fight's about, and if I would have known what it was, I would have just started kicking the living shit out of this guy.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
but
Yeah.
When
basically,
did punk rock become
If I
so
could
safe?
sit there
I
and
know
play
it wasn't
guitar
Dwayne or
and start
Fletcher who
kicking
put up
this
the
guy,
barricades.
I would have.
but
but-
the best part is when the guy got hit. So the chicken wire down there is secured. Basically, you got beams up top, going around, beams on the bottom. I'm right in front of it, like at the wire, all that, and all of a sudden, guy gets hit right into the board. Board breaks. I see the wire go, and I'm like, huh. Everyone drugged this motherfucker up steep-ass basement stairs, threw his ass out, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so, do we keep going, or is this intermission? Which the best part is, we hadn't played Columbus in 4 years. And everyone we met the last time we played there showed up that night.
Wow.
And then it turned into, literally after we were done playing, Everlasting Godstopper played. And it turned into a...
Fucking all-night party.
Yeah, we had to drive home the next day, and the whole 6-hour drive, I'm just like, I hate my life. Hey, guys, here's some Japanese anime music for you.
Oh my god! I remember waking up and K-pop's going on. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, leave my anime intros alone.
Excuse
Some are
me.
badass.
He was trying to work off all that alcohol by Naruto running outside, okay?
Actually,
That's Eddie.
those intros weren't that great, but still.
Oh, look at the anime elitist over here.
No, not really.
No.
Anyway,
So on the tour, would you say that Columbus was your favorite place that you went and played, or was there another one?
I'd have to say the whole tour back in March, Columbus probably was the best place we played.
Columbus was.
It didn't help that we had a bunch of hiccups with our bus the first,
Well, that's to be
the
expected.
first 2 nights
Burp
of the
into
tour.
the mic
Well-
next time.
It's our bus is like what 96,
99.
99, and
Wait,
she
like an
wasn't too.
Actual bus?
Yeah, it's a short bus.
We have a short,
Short bus.
Yeah.
Prison
no-
City
hold on.
rides a short bus.
Hold on, and no lie, when we bought it, it was already flat black rattle canned.
Nice,
Mhm.
dude.
Really?
Guy used it as a
Yeah,
party bus.
we didn't do that to it.
Yeah,
That's how we
no.
bought it.
Are you
It was like
serious?
that.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I actually didn't know
How
that.
how did you find a short bus?
Me.
Where did
Actually,
you
no.
find this?
Hold on, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. I think it was
Streeter.
either that or Craigslist. It was one of them. It was
Someone just
Streeter.
Both
Was it
of them
Streeter
are
or
just as
Stager?
sketchy. It
No,
doesn't even
it
matter.
was in Streeter.
Streeter. Okay, yeah.
It was through Facebook because
That
I
was
remember us
scary.
messaging the guy, and no offense to the guy, no offense to Tom, anything like that, but
Is that his name?
yeah, I
Who we
remember.
bought it from?
I remember his name is Tom.
How do you have such a good fucking memory?
I know it's weird, right?
That is scary.
He's a singer. That's what he has to do. He has to remember
That's
words.
true.
man.
See,
Me, I'm a dumbass. I'm a drummer. I have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
and hit things, just hit things.
So you bought this bus from Tom.
Yes.
Some guy named Tom.
When did you buy this?
Short
bus.
We bought it April. May?
April.
Yeah, April
of this
Fuck,
year.
yeah.
No.
Last year.
Oh, okay.
2018.
We bought it April 2018. We did a lot of work on it. We got one hell of a deal on it.
Yeah.
We talked him down.
To 1100.
And we can also thank my dad came because he's a very good fucking mechanic. Like, he knows the ins and outs of almost anything.
Dude, I remember what your dad said when we were driving away.
Huh.
Your dad was pissed.
They couldn't talk him down even
he's
more.
Like,
He goes, I knew I could have.
I could have talked him down to under $1,000. And I just wanted to look and be like, why didn't you?
It's like, well, if you're talking
But
that,
at the same
why
point,
didn't you do it?
At the same point, I believe in karma, but that bus has caused us a shit ton of problems.
But
What
I think
was
a
wrong
lot
with
of
the bus?
I think a lot of the beginning of that tour.
What's wrong
what
with
was
the
wrong
bus?
with
Start
the bus.
making a list, man.
We had this tour scheduled for months. Like, it was set up, ready to roll, and then boom, surprise fucking polar vortex.
Oh,
A
you
99
wanna- yeah.
bus does not like negative 50-degree weather.
What a
Starter went
shocker.
out, camshaft sensor went out.
She kept wanting to stall because she was just too cold when we were like on our
Fuck it.
way to Minnesota. But after that, she worked like a fucking
the amount that got fixed on that bus back in March.
Did your
Yeah.
dad do all the work on it?
No, we did. And
You guys know what you're doing?
yeah, for the
Oh,
most
now they
part.
do.
Yeah,
I drove it.
no. I'm gonna say with
Hold
a solid yes.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, and here's the thing. Here's the thing too, is that I drove a tow truck for 7 years. Most basic mechanics I can figure out. If not, YouTube.
Yeah. Well, who was also always the one working on the goddamn bus on the tour? Hi.
No, you crawled under there one
says,
time.
I was helping working on the motor in the front when we were stopped at the gas station because someone lost the fucking fluid cap.
Ooh, who? Tell us who?
Yeah,
Who
I
did
can
it?
imagine who did
did
that,
it?
Eddie.
Who
Who
did it?
was that, Eddie?
Time out.
What
We
did
did
you do with the
find it.
fluid cap?
We found it
we
like
did
a month
find-
ago.
We did.
Oh, it was stuck in like.
No, so before we left, I filled up all the fluids like a good person would. And apparently in the rush of leaving, I didn't put it back on. Well, it got sucked into the
Radiator.
no, not the radiator.
Air filter.
Into the air filter.
Air filter,
And
yeah.
wound up underneath.
So
It was stuck in. He just found that like what 2 months ago.
yeah, basically we replaced the mass airflow sensor, replaced the filter, all that shit.
There's caps in here.
At which
I
point,
showed
no,
up.
seriously,
he
he's
pulled
in
practice one day.
He's
like 2
starting
months
it up
ago.
and all that. I'm banging on the air filter because I have an idea of what could be wrong, and I start taking it apart, and I'm like, "Would you look at that? It's the fucking
well,
cap."
motherfucker. I
Has
showed
there
up to
been a
practice.
cap on that since?
yes, we did replace it. We
Okay,
did.
we
Oh,
did replace it
in
after a
Madison.
few days.
No, it was only the
No,
next
it was
day.
the next day because
Wow.
it was the middle of the night. First, we used like cardboard or something and
No,
duct
we
taped the
used
shit out of it.
All right, Jack Link's beef jerky. You know those shredded beef jerky cans where it's like almost.
Yeah,
like,
it looks
We cleaned
like
it out
chew.
first.
It looks like chew.
and we stuck it on top and taped it on top.
You gotta make do with what you gotta do at the time being.
When you're in Eclair, Wisconsin, you gotta when you're in Eclair, Wisconsin, in negative degree weather without the wind chill, you gotta do what you gotta do.
One of my favorite
Hey,
things is
it was
still the
fucking
exhaust
fixed, that's all that
problem when
matters.
we're in Wisconsin again, and
Trying to get to Madison.
there's a hole in the exhaust somehow. It's probably been there. I don't
It's
know.
loud as fuck.
Yeah, and so
it sounded like a shotgun going off.
it's
the whole
like
way up there.
it's like negative 55. I'm in coveralls. We park at not Ace Hardware, a fucking AutoZone. And I'm down there wrapping it up, and fucking Paige got on Instagram. She walks down there. And just
I
look
do
at,
have the
"Hello."
video. I do
As
have
I'm
the
trying
video.
to tape this fucking thing up, freezing my balls off.
But you know what?
But it
got,
worked.
It got us to Madison. We were able to get home for the off day, get up to Hamtramck, Michigan. Get down to Columbus.
And whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, it made it work.
You said it was called Hamtragon?
Hamtramck.
That took a while to figure out how to pronounce. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing
Wow.
against, I guess, the
How you
Hamtramck
doing
people.
tonight,
but
Ham? Tramp?
What is it? HAMTRAHAMCK, something like
I'm
that.
not gonna try.
Something like that.
Dude, my brain's fried. I've been at school for doing school shit for over 12 hours.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Alright.
Native American.
It
name
sounds
of
like
some
a-
sort.
I don't know. It's a
It usually
suburb.
was,
It-
honestly.
it's the outskirts of Detroit. That's all I know.
Outskirts of
Oh.
Detroit.
And it was during some Polish festival, which was
Pulaski
Some,
Day.
like, Native
Pulaski
American
shows on
lands.
Pulaski
Get your
Day.
It was
asses
on
over to
Pulaski
New
Day.
Mexico.
What about New
That's
Mexico?
my fucking place right there. I was born there.
There's been a lot of reference to New Mexico tonight. Do you
I
plan
think
on playing
yeah,
any shows
seriously.
down in New Mexico?
I think someone just really misses New Mexico.
Yeah.
Very much so.
We have not
it's-
planned any West Coast dates yet.
No.
We should.
Mostly because we're a little bit slightly afraid of the bus.
So how's the bus doing these days?
Well,
Ha, ha, ha,
well, well, hold on, time out. So, replace the mass airflow sensor the day that he was banging on the air box.
When you're banging it.
Oh, I was banging it hard.
I also decided
Giving
to
it all that I got.
decided to pull
All
off
2
the
inches.
doghouse because
All 2 inches.
you look into everything
Don't
that
play with
was
that, man.
that was replaced or whatever back before we went on the last tour, and the only components left because we had started, it was all out die, not throwing any codes. So that leaves either bad fuel filter, which fuel filter was cleared, fuel pump we just replaced, it's got a full tune-up.
Fuel pump's got dirt.
We
in it. It's
replaced
gonna
the
cause problems.
ignition coil because I ran it one day perfectly fine. That night it downpoured rain and it wouldn't start the next day.
Yay.
Moisture in the air, ignition coil. Replaced it, started up just fine, then it stalled out. Okay. My buddy came over, looked under the front, he's like, hey, you know your crankshaft position sensor is kind of covered in oil, right? No. Would that have a problem with it? He's like, hold on, let me see. You know, didn't see him for a week. I dumped about 5 gallons of gas in the bus. I'm like, fuck it, let's see. It threw a code. And I'm like, it's probably just the O2 sensor, bank 2, sensor 2, whatever. No, it was either camshaft or crankshaft position sensor. That's what it said. Well, we already replaced the camshaft before we went on tour. Fuck it. Replace it. It has started up every day for the past 2 weeks now.
Yep, she is running good and ready to fucking roll.
No, not quite.
Well, not quite.
We still gotta get the plates reinstated.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
And
But
go through emissions.
That's gonna be.
You guys didn't
split through
drive
the
it here?
band.
No.
I
It's
gave
not
them
on my
the
insurance
medical
Here's
exam.
another
anymore.
thing. Here's another thing that I'm gonna say. All right, is the fact that you might be happy that you have a Mexican in the band. I could get someone who could pass us through those emissions.
I got people too who can
Yeah.
do it for
Hello.
like nothing.
Hey, hold on. I could do it too. You know how? I can just sign the title over to your ass.
We didn't
Yeah.
expect.
You don't have emissions down in Mantino.
Nope.
Why didn't we think about that before?
We
Well,
talked about it before.
But we didn't follow through.
These are a matter for a different date. Let's play more music.
Yeah.
I have issues.
Please.
I'm gonna piss them off by the end of today.
Oh God.
For the love of God, just play the music.
So the next track that you want to play off of what you had sent me, what would you like?
Okay, what did he send you?
He
I sent her Carnival,
what did he
Hide Your
send
Face,
you?
and Time and Fear. What do you want?
Fear.
Well, here.
Yeah,
Do you
sure,
want?
there we
Do you
go.
want a more
We
melodic,
talked about Time
or
and
do you
Fear
want
at the
a
beginning of
harder?
this.
that is up to you.
Just pick a song.
Play Time
Time
and
and
Fear.
Fear.
We
Time
talked
and
about
Fear.
it.
We're doing
Time
Time
and
and
Fear?
Fear. Time and Fear.
All right,
Time and
here we
Fear.
go.
Time and Beers.
And Fear.
Time for beer.
Thank right now! Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Like movies, music, television, and more? Oh my god. Well, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me, Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
And now a word from D. Reitz of One Steel Wound.
Spoken poetry for the metal experience. Eat my cock, eat my cock. Don't spit on it, that ain't classy. Eat my cock, oh won't you eat my cock? No handies, let's get nasty. Eat my ass, stir it with your hands. Eat my ass, spread brown, take me to class. You're listening to the Metal Experience.
And we're back with Metal Experience. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, hanging out with Prison City Brigade tonight. And that was Time and Fear. And let me tell you, the time that we were off air, I was in fear of what we were talking about.
Aging is mandatory.
So we're
Growing up
back.
is
But those
not.
watching live got it all.
Yeah.
Hey-oh.
So we came
Shout
across
to
an
y'all.
interesting
Love
topic that we were going to talk about just now.
Was that one of the ones?
Cthulhuism is a
Cthulhu.
religion, I guess.
Okay,
It's
so
almost close to Scientology, so it might be a cult.
what the fuck? No.
Yeah, you heard me. Look at him. I
Scientology.
pissed him off now. Watch. He's gonna go on a
Scientology's
rant.
like the worst thing in the world. Get the fuck out
Well,
of here.
you called him. You called him.
it? You
Lord,
need
there
me.
we go. Electric
Lord
Kazoo.
Cthulhu,
Need
and
me
I'm
here.
super.
You need me here.
I do
what you
not
can do
need
without
you
a
here
drummer.
if you're going to convince him to buy dumb shit he doesn't need.
Morgan, buy me this electric kazoo.
Nope.
It's only $16.95, and if it sucks, whatever, you throw it in the garbage. $16.95.
If you get it on Prime and it sucks, you just return that shit and get your money back.
I do
Us
have,
right now,
I
dude,
do
come
work for
on.
Amazon. I get a discount. I have a Prime membership. I mean, hello.
How much of a
Don't
discount
tell
can you
the
get on
world.
an electric kazoo?
About $1.60.
Nice, dude. Deal.
$1.60 is better than zero. You should get the kazoo. You should get him the kazoo.
I'm thinking about getting into the electric kazoo
Off
business.
the kazoo
Yes.
topic, please
The
tell us.
kazoo.
Please tell us about a
Not
similar
get rid of that
topic
tab.
called
Do not get rid of that
Cthulhuism.
tab.
Cthulhu plays a kazoo.
No, he
Morgan
doesn't.
has
Don't
walked-
Cthulhu totally
bullshit
plays a
me.
kazoo.
That's it. I'm up.
He's gone.
Morgan has walked away.
Now that we got rid of her, let's fucking talk about electric kazoos.
Right? Dude, it is a whole open market. It is amazing.
Let me tell you about how much popularity we've gained because we introduced the electric kazoo.
We are going global with the
It
electric
is
kazoo.
absolutely
Morgan,
insane.
I'm about to walk away, and I brought them with us.
How did you find this thing?
I would be just
honestly,
as upset as you are, Eddie.
I don't know. I think it was a drunken buy, and I had it, and I've been in love ever since.
You found it in a store? Or you found it online?
sounds
It
like
was in
getting
the store,
married,
I'm pretty
too.
sure.
You just
How
walked- what
how
store were you
often
in?
do you find yourself playing this said electric kazoo?
When you're drunk or stoned and fucked up,
I've
it
seen
is.
it myself. It exists.
When you're fucked up and you got nothing else to do, and you see
Electric
that
kazoo.
kazoo, you're like, yeah, hit the recorder button and just go to town.
When you're drunk and fucked up and got nothing to do, electric kazoo.
That's a trademark. That's a slogan right there.
Campaign right there.
The next thing that you're going to buy is this stupid stylophone retro pocket synth.
Excuse me?
You just said something.
Point
else
me
that
in
he
the
wants
direction.
now.
I'm
Where is that?
intrigued.
Right? I'm intrigued and need to see this.
Yeah.
If
How
you
much
did
is
not,
it?
Pull it up by the end of the night. Pull it up. You got one? Oh
You
my
got
God,
one?
he
Did
has
you
one.
really look one up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
How much is it?
Only
This is like
25
bucks.
Is it $25? Just buy it.
Yeah.
25
No,
bucks.
you don't just buy it, Luco.
Yes, you
Just buy it.
absolutely do.
Okay, anyway.
Remember those questions, Luco? Where does all your money go? How am I broke? I literally give you everything you asked
Because
for,
I
and I'm
bought an
broke.
electric kazoo the other day for $7. Oh
Done.
no.
Done and done. Back to Cthulhuism. No more kazoo talk, you goofs.
Kazuluism.
Kazoo.
Anyway, what about our Lord and Savior Cthulhu?
Yeah.
He
Who?
plays the kazoo. That's how he saves the people.
Our Dark Lord and Savior. Hail, hail.
Plugs in his kazoo and
He goes on his kazoo solo like Frank Zappa, just rocking on the stage, and the people are saved in his grace.
Anyway, Morgan, what is your question?
My question had to do with just Cthulhu. Is this a real religion, or was this just one of those monsters? Explain.
Cthulhu was created by writer H.P. Lovecraft. Call it Cthulhu. He's a phenomenal writer. I love his art books, and I got pretty much all of his stories. But Cthulhu started out, I don't know, as a story. But anyway, a lot of people blew it up into this real like cult thing, kind of like actual religion and church. So now there's this online thing where you can sign up and be a real cult member of Cthulhu and whatnot, even though it's a story created by
How
a
much
guy.
does it cost?
I think it's free.
It's free, but that's the thing.
Let's sign up.
That's
Look,
the thing.
it's free to join a cult.
That I like to say.
But
If South Park has covered it's probably legit.
Don't worry, we don't have Kool-Aid. It doesn't have Kool-Aid.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You got
Not
Kool-Aid?
Absolutely.
Let's drink it.
No. What me and Eddie were talking about earlier is we don't have Kool-Aid. We have Jaeger.
Yeah.
Let's drink it.
We will spike the Jaeger. Cut
So
in
yeah,
line.
Cthulhu just started as a cult.
Oh, bartender, please
started
bring
as a
me
story,
some
and
Jaeger
now
with
it's
cyanide.
exploded in this huge. I guess Cthulhu started trending. I don't even know how, but Cthulhu got really big and popular, and now there's a bunch of people on it. There's a whole website. You can join the actual cult. And Eddie here wants me to marry him and his fiance as a total Cthulhu, I guess, priest, monk, whatever you want to call
Are you
it.
a Cthulhu monk priest?
Not yet.
He can be.
I will be at one point.
Is it free?
Yeah, as far as I know. I am ordained in the Latter Saint Dude, hence my T-shirt.
I am actually ordained in the Latter-day Saints because I was raised Mormon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I could marry people if I wanted
that
to.
sucks.
I wouldn't.
It does, absolutely.
I would.
My parents might be watching this Facebook Live. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't tell that to people.
It's hilarious.
And you Facebook Lived that too. So
I have forsaken my religion. I am no longer allowed at my church anymore. Thank you very much. I love you all.
When you show up drunk and naked, it kind of changes things. You're not Catholic, so.
Mormon.
Oh, I went there.
Mormon.
More
Sir.
man.
More man.
More man.
you want
More
more
men.
You
men?
want more man?
More men,
More men.
sir.
More men. Still a virgin. Want to find out which one I like better. Thank
Well,
you.
you're
very
going
much.
through God's loophole?
More
Oh,
men.
my.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's funny.
More men, sir.
More man.
boy.
More man.
All right, so
So
we
yeah,
talked
that's supposed to pretty much like it.
before the break. We talked a little bit about your favorite shows of this year and everything that you guys played. What about album releases? What were some of your favorites that you picked up this year? Or do you not think it's cool to stream new music anymore?
I like seeing other album releases? Or
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Okay. OZ's album release party.
Oh,
That was fucking
that was
killer.
a fun time.
That was great. Excellent album. I love those guys and the bands all night long. They fucking kill that Top Fuel Saloon. That was a great show.
In reality,
From what I
actually got
remember.
One of their picks right here.
What?
Oblivion Zero. Yeah. They threw that to me at the last show at the Looney Bin.
And you've been holding on to it ever since.
Yes.
We
it's,
play
it's a keepsake.
we
I
do
need
play
to.
a lot of shows
And
with
you just
them.
happen to have it as a drummer in your pocket.
Pretty
right
cool,
now.
right?
You know,
Things about you don't exactly make sense.
You are a lonely guy.
That's why I'm the new guy. Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're going to find out a lot
mean-
of weird things. About I have nothing better going
Oh,
on.
the night's still young. We've
The
noticed.
night's still young, and I am a weird person.
Somebody get
Trust
this
me.
guy a hooker off
Young-
Cicero.
Oh
Young,
my
dumb, and
gosh.
full of cum. Let's
Luco.
do this.
Again, someone get this man
I
a hooker
might be
from
sterile.
Cicero. He will have horrible time.
We will have horrible time, and I'm telling you, you guys don't know the half of my story.
I have a good time for a while.
yeah,
the burning
I mean-
sensation. That's a different story.
Oh, man.
no, album releases, unfortunately for me, I don't know what's new, what's not. I rely about like Spotify weekly discovery, and then I find out the album's been out for about 7 years, and it's like, oh, well, hello. You're new to me.
Hello.
But album,
Facebook.
like album release shows that, like album release, we played Oblivion Zero's album release show.
No more Guinness for you, sir.
I am fine. I have a list. Leave me alone. That Zach mentioned, and honestly, that album was on repeat for about 3 to 4 weeks before I finally got yelled at and said that you need to start listening to something else. Well, fuck you. I'm going to my 2018 playlist then.
Boom.
Well, butt fuck you.
But Fuck you.
Like Oblivion Zero, we play a lot of shows with them. We love Jeff. We love Kyle.
Yeah,
Alex.
they're fucking awesome people, and I've just met them.
Yeah, always good guys.
Yeah, I love those guys. Jeff's the one who almost got me in trouble at fucking Looney Bin.
Oh my god! When everyone thought you threw up, but really he smacked your ass and the beer fell.
No. So here's the thing. I was at the show at the Looney Bin. We had already played, and so I was holding my beer in my hand, talking with the rest of the band, and Jeff comes up and smacks me on the ass. Ooh. And I did not expect this. He gave like a full fucking like swing to it, so I jumped up a little bit and I dropped my beer. And then after that, everyone thought I puked. So I got cut off at the bar, and like people were pissed at me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody mad at me right now? Everybody's looking at me weird. And there was these two girls that walked up, and they were just kind of like, they looked down at the spilled beer, thought it was my throw up, and they were like, are you going to clean that up? And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just going to fucking leave it here. I'm just going to fucking leave this spilled beer here for everyone to trip on. I didn't know they were thinking that I threw up on the ground, but I was still kind of like, fuck you guys, you know? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I was like, no, I'm just going to leave it. Get out of here, you know? So after that, I was cut off from the bar, and everybody kept looking at me like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? The reason why...
I was hit.
Well, the reason why... Okay, so here's another thing.
How does beer look like vomit?
Okay, so here's the thing.
He gets extra head in his beer.
There's a little bit of... That's funny. There's a little bit of context here that kind of made it seem like I really did throw up.
This is what you should have put into the story.
Yeah, no, so...
The context.
That's what I'm trying to add.
We need the actual story.
The context is actually funny, too. That's why I want to add it in, you know, because... Okay, so he smacked my ass and I dropped the beer, right? And there was this guy sitting there at the Looney Bin. You know, they sell, like, tacos and shit. So there was a guy who was trying to get everybody to eat tacos, like, throughout the entire night. He had this plate full of tacos.
Oh.
He remembers. Everybody
remembers.
Free? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted you to eat it for free. I'll tell you why.
Don't trust free tacos.
I'll tell you why. Okay, so I dropped the beer, and he said, your punishment is you have to eat one of these tacos. And I was like, why the fuck am I going to turn down a free taco?
That's not punishment at all.
Yeah,
right.
This is heaven.
I eat the taco. He had this fucking sauce on it. If you've ever heard of it, the Million Scoville sauce, which is like about as hot as like a fucking ghost pepper. So this sauce, he dumped that shit all over it, and he had me take a bite.
Yep.
So right after I spilled this beer, he had me take a bite of that taco. So I was holding my mouth like this, like covering my mouth. So that's why I was like, okay, everybody thinks I fucking puked because I'm holding my mouth fucking on fire while I'm trying to clean up this beer down here.
I can testify to that. I took it, I'm like, I'm hungry, everything. Yeah, those tacos were, they were good. The spice was good.
The spice was not, honestly, it didn't taste bad. It just fucking hurt.
The burning hurt.
The burning hurt, but it tasted good.
Yeah, I listened to everyone, and that guy came around me.
I'm sure that's how it feels with gonorrhea, too.
That's how you have gonorrhea?
You got gonorrhea from
That's
a taco?
also how I got gonorrhea for the third time.
Hold on. I thought you were a virgin.
You've never gotten gonorrhea from eating tacos, Morgan? Get the fuck out of here.
You've
I've
never
gotten
lived.
herpes from the toilet. I've even gotten pregnant at this point. You don't even know what I've done.
You don't even know,
right.
Morgan. You don't even
things
know.
Homeless for a
Another
while.
weird
You
turn.
have no idea what I've been through.
And I think it's time,
Don't even
Luco,
know.
for the pick of the week.
I've been picking my nose this week.
What
I have
else
so many
is
boogers
new?
in my nose.
And on the floor of my car.
But you've been
Thanks a
picking
lot.
it.
But
How is there still more in there?
For some reason, whenever you have a mustache, you just get like your nose is like, oh, we need extra boogers in
Okay,
there.
we are not
Really?
recording
Yeah.
the rest of this conversation.
That
On
is
to Luco's
interesting.
segment.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found!
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week and every week is always brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week we have all the way from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, the band Canada.
Ooh.
The band
Hey.
Instilled in Me. We've got a twofer. We've got Carry Me and What Is Waiting. Let's do it!
Destruction with trouble you can't Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Like movies, music, television, and more? Oh my god. Well, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me, Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
Bury me in the distance. Deep breaths, listen in. Tear my mind into pieces. Just watch me fall apart.
I'm Meredith.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm John, and we are Victims. And you're listening to the Metal Experience. Check out our full-length album, Volume 2, Inside the Mind, available everywhere.
All right. All right. Were we recording all the penises?
Well, when you started shouting, then it really
Fucking
just hit
retarded.
an
Perfect.
epic peak.
Oh, I said the
So,
R word.
So do we gotta do that again?
Nope.
I said the R word.
We probably would. We
Don't
probably-
worry,
Wait
there's
for it.
enough
Watch
cocks
this.
on this episode
You
for
ready?
everybody.
You ready for this shit? Watch.
I'm ready. You can go. It's fucking going.
Penis.
He took forever, like, huh?
So that
Oh my God.
segment we just ran through was again brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com.
How are you getting
for
home
more
today?
information for all your recording needs. That was instilled in me from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, with the songs "Carry Me" and "What Is Waiting." Woo!
Well, I know what's waiting for me for the rest of this episode.
Penis.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Cthulhu playing penis. That's Cthulhu playing the kazoo with his penis waving around. That's the rest of this episode. Kazoo playing
That's
penis.
it. People tuned out by now.
You're
They're
tripping
fucking
over
done.
words. You're yelling penis. Eddie doesn't know what to say anymore.
To those of you who stuck around after
Hold on,
that, you're
time
a
out.
fucking trooper.
Actually, Morgan, I appreciate this for one reason.
Oh yeah, be a
Every
kiss ass
time
Eddie.
that we've been on, I answer a lot of the questions, all that. And as I said, this is probably the liveliest we've ever been on this show. So if I don't
This
know,
is the most people since Racist Takes that you've ever brought with you.
I will say we've never screamed at the top of our lungs penis before.
I've never recorded such a
This is
shout
the
of
first
penis
time.
on the air.
You're welcome. I'm here now.
I wonder if the people at the bar are like, what the
This is the problem. This is the problem
sorry.
of having the youngest member of the band here.
you penis?
what comes in my
Baby
head?
penis.
What comes in my head? South
What
Park.
comes into your head is a penis.
No, actually, kind of.
penis.
Wiener, wiener, wiener,
Wiener,
wiener,
wiener,
Makes me
wiener.
think of
God, it's so
revival.
loud.
How did everyone communicate the revival? Penis! No, wiener!
Wiener! I'll say wanker.
You'd hear a
from here
guy
on out.
like
Thank
50
you.
feet away go, wiener!
Wanker!
And then you'd hear like 30 people in unison go, wiener!
God, I miss the revival.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, motherfucker.
That should be something that just happens everywhere.
I wish people yelled that at concerts instead of Slayer.
That's a good
or
point.
Freebird.
That's done
Like,
and
how
over
is-
with.
Slayer just
Maybe.
did their final farewell.
We
Did
did.
you guys see that
People
shit?
yell Slayer in the middle of shows, and it's like, okay.
I've
we
yelled
get it.
Slayer at the middle of
I have.
I've done it too.
Penis.
It's
I've
fucking,
done it too.
Whoa, 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 guys! It is not Slayer. It is fucking Slayer.
Fucking Slayer! Fucking
And then we get into a
I hope I
shouting
wasn't too
match,
close
and
to
away
the
we
mic
go.
at that
And then
point. I
everyone's
don't want to
like,
fucking ruin people.
What was that one, Luco, that guy, when we were at Rock House, what did he yell in the middle of that awkward, like...
Freebird!
No.
Rock
That
House.
awkward moment after Synovio or somebody had just played, and there was that awkward pause that we just laughed because he just...
Oh, he said, my dad touched my penis or something. Like, there was a break in the music.
Why are
and
we
all of a
laughing
sudden,
at that?
You heard this
It was
guy
just some
hilarious.
drunk guy that was just yelling.
all of a
things.
sudden, like, you hear this guy go, my dad touched my penis. And then they went back into the song. It was like, what the fuck just happened?
Awkward turtle.
No, they had it planned. They had a breakdown coming, and some guy to be like, "My dad touched my penis."
Is that what it was? It was something like my dad touched my penis or something.
I don't remember. It was just funny. I gotta listen.
I totally forgot about that.
It
But
was just-
literally, like, the
we
music
died laughing.
paused for like a pause and like to transition to something.
My
and
dad
just
touched
some
my penis.
random guy just like, my dad touched my penis. And then they went right back into the song. It was like, who the fuck just said that?
Oh,
my
It was
God.
so perfect.
All right, so besides the guy
Perfect.
with the napkins
That's real artistry.
at Looney Bin,
Holy shit, that's
give us
fucking
a couple over the years, whatever band you were playing in at the time.
I
or-
haven't been along around.
What is
I haven't been around
what's
long
a
enough.
memorable moment from an
Or
audience
a
member? that
most
stands out?
embarrassing.
Remember moment. of
Me
audience
playing the
member.
drums at that show. Actually, it might have been Ray.
No raising hands here. Just talk. It's all good.
Yeah, you don't need to raise your hand.
No,
You're not a fuck
most
class
Raise your
tonight.
hand.
Raise his hand. Nobody can fucking see it.
Raise your stakes.
Hold on. Most memorable, embarrassing moment. Well, I got stuck at Loyola for 3 days from going into a bonfire pit at Skatopia in Ohio.
Was that embarrassing? Was that fucking awesome?
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
A
column
little bit
A,
of both,
column
but
B.
that's not the most embarrassing moment then, because if it was fucking awesome, then
No, the embarrassing moment was waking up after
you
night
getting
one.
a hernia at the West
on-
Chicago
on-
Social Club.
We'll get to that one. That was pretty bad. Embarrassing was waking up the next day at 11 a.m. after night one and being there. Nurse comes in and says, "Yeah, you were pretty messed up last night. I don't remember you guys changing my bandages or anything." They're like, "Oh yeah, you were on Oxycontin, Dilaudid, morphine, Ambien, and yeah, we don't expect you to remember it." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, you're talking about your gauges and everything. Well, we had to help set you up, give you your sponge bath, everything like that." It's like, "Oh my God!"
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, they took very good care of me in Loyola.
I'm sure they did.
They
They
really
gave
did.
you a happy ending with that one, didn't they?
They may have, but I don't remember it.
They'll only give him a happy ending depending on how his insurance is.
Needless to say, night two, I did not take the Ambien. Woke up at 5 a.m. next day like, yeah, let's get this going.
Show me on the penis where they touched you on the penis.
I don't know. Womp
Can you
womp.
show me on the doll where they touched you? Oh, really? Well, he said you could touch him right here.
Hey, it's your embarrassing moment time.
My embarrassing moment time. Okay, yeah.
This interview.
Yeah, no.
Morgan, I told you.
He's living it.
Show me on your wiener where they touched you on your wiener.
Yeah. Let me tell you about where my uncle touched me at this point. I'm just kidding.
It was actually my dad and my uncle and myself.
All right,
It was
Luco.
both. I was
Done.
into it.
Okay. All right. So what happened
paid
at
his dad.
West Chicago Social Club? So I had gotten in a head-on collision, which wrecked my Hyundai Veloster. And
You drove a
Hyundai
Raptor?
I drove the Velociraptor. Yeah.
Hyundai Velociraptor.
The Hyundai Velociraptor. I had a Hyundai Veloster, and
I'm gonna look up what that looks like.
turning left into my fucking neighborhood.
Hyundai or Honda?
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Hyundai. Yeah.
Hyundai.
All right.
Now
so
I see why you have a parrot.
I don't. I wish I did. I fucking wish I did. God damn.
This guy can't afford a parrot.
I can't. No. So
Anyway.
Oh, those things are kind of cool looking.
yeah.
Your little beep beep doop boop boop.
I was able to rip that bitch around everything. That thing was so fucking stocky
You're
that
like,
I could
"Got a
rip it
poo
around
coming
corners
through."
at like 60. I could rip that shit around corners at like 60 miles an hour, and it would stay stable. It was a fucking great car.
Got a poo coming through.
Yeah, exactly. So I was turning left into my neighborhood, and this dude was coming at like a motherfucker past the light. That was like, okay, so I live right off of County Line and Caton Ridge or Caton Farm, and this dude was ripping like a motherfucker past that light. So I didn't see him, so I'm turning left in, and we fucking get in a head-on collision when I'm coming through.
Is that how your glasses broke?
No, actually, they didn't break that at that point. They broke because I fell asleep and I fucking rolled over onto them. The stupidest reason, right? So these ones broke too.
How'd you break those ones?
The screw just like fell out, and I was working at Jimmy John's at the time, which I still work there now. But I was working,
I like how
and I was like,
you pulled the glasses up, but then didn't fix them.
no,
on
I
your
pulled
face.
the glass up because you can see the fucking paper clip that's holding them together. That's why I'm about to go into that. So, the screw fell out while I was in the middle of work, and I have to fucking drive for my job, so I can't have one lens out and one lens not. You know. So I had to fucking throw a paper clip in there so they could stay together. Right. So that was a different story there. So after the accident, I went to the hospital that night. I had some like burns on my arm that you could see here and shit from the airbag.
How long ago was this?
August. Shit, yeah, like in August. August 16th. I remember the day. Yeah. Because I had to go through a bunch of insurance shit about it. But so I got into the accident, and I would say like a few days later, I noticed that I had a fucking hernia. I got a hernia from the accident when I like tightened up and like braced myself for the impact because I saw his ass coming, and I was like, fuck. So,
fuck.
Yeah, literally, I screamed fuck before he hit me, and I was like, shh, you know. And so I spun around like 360 degrees after that fucking accident. But I tensed up so much that I gave myself a hernia.
Jeez,
dude. An inguinal hernia is what they called it. So,
AKA poop in your pants.
Basically, you know, a hernia, your fucking intestines push past your abdominal wall, and they're sticking out like a fucking bulge.
Oh.
You know? So,
You have to push it back in?
yeah, all the time.
Been there,
all
done
the fucking
that.
time. He's been there.
Get back in there,
Yeah.
you ass.
No, it was right
No,
near my
no,
Dare you try
no,
to escape?
Here's
Get
the
in
thing.
there.
Here's the thing about a hernia. It's not like it sticks out to where you can see the intestines. It's like a bulge.
It's just a bulge in your skin.
And
you just fucking see, and you could just push it back in.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But anyway, fast forward to October
Moving on.
4th.
I'll fast forward.
now I
to,
bulged
to
my
the,
penis
to the
through my
Luna
skin.
Bin show, right? So this has been going on for a couple months now, where I was just kind of living with this hernia, and I was going through practice and everything like that, just like in fucking pain 24/7. This thing was literally the bane of my existence. And so we get to the West Chicago Social Club show, and I started drinking a lot that night. I brought a bottle of champagne that night in a
brown paper
in a
bag.
paper bag.
Brown
Classy.
paper
Classy
bag.
motherfucker.
Oh yeah, like I said, you'll fucking learn more about me. So
We're
I
an
got
interesting punk band. We
I
bring
got
champagne.
pretty fucking
Brown
drunk
paper
that
bag.
night,
Right.
which is what led to this whole situation. So it literally, it's kind of my fault. So I was sloppy when I got back on the drums because I knew there was a certain way I could play them when I'm playing both legs because it was so near like my crotch area that I was like, there's a certain way I can play the drums that nothing bad happens. But I was so drunk that I didn't even think about it. So we start the first song. The first fucking note I hit, all of a sudden it feels like someone's holding like a blowtorch to my fucking crotch.
Oh.
And the first song
Turns
we
out
do,
someone's holding a blowtorch to your
yeah.
crotch.
So the first song
That's
we do
my
is
bad.
Hide Your Face, right? So it's Hide Your Face, which some people may know at this point. So we played through that song, and I played like I don't know, like a minute afterwards. Just kept fucking
He just
going.
kept going. Like even during sound check, he was off and everything. It came to a point where it's like, no, we're done, dude.
He looked back and he's like, dude, we're done. And so I stopped the song, and Eddie looks back
I
at me.
look
He's
at
like,
and I asked him. I looked at him. I said, Jose, are you drunk? No, I'm fine. At that point in my head,
he knew something was wrong.
We have a problem.
Because I told him, I was like, no, I'm fine. Next song. Like,
we
angrily,
go to the next
I was
one.
like, fuck that.
It's
Next
like,
song.
No, we knew some. Well, needless to say,
The next song we played, as soon as he started playing the guitar for it, which was 1927, it just
he
sounded
missed.
like noise.
He missed.
Complete fucking noise. It just sounded like he started playing it, and it sounded like one continuous noise, no matter
he
how.
didn't play. He didn't come in. It's like
I didn't come in, and so I was trying to play it, and then all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I passed out on my fucking kit.
I actually looked.
And
at,
I was being dragged over to like the fucking benches on the side.
So when he missed the cue to come in, I look at him like, Jose, are you okay? Yeah, go to the next one. We tried Sloth, and
do we really play another song after that?
You're like,
We
yeah,
tried.
go to the next one.
All
Go-
I remember is starting to try
Yeah,
to
you
do.
flat
Because
out
you
said-
did.
you
I blacked out.
You
from
flat out
pain.
said, go to the next one, and we tried, and you were off, and I'm like, I literally said, no, I can't, no. I set the microphone down, and that was it.
And I like passed out on my kit. The next thing I remember was being like dragged over to the fucking benches on the side, like screaming in pain. That shit was like the worst fucking pain I've ever felt in my
Needless
life.
to say, when you have a hernia, it can start to drop and strangulate.
So there was like
Much
blood
pain.
being cut off to that point. So it, like I said, it literally felt like someone was holding like a blowtorch up to my fucking crotch.
Yeah.
So it just felt like this insane burning sensation. But I was like, I can tough through this. I've done it before. Because
Yeah.
I've done it before. You know, I tried to push it back in,
Did
and
you
then
go
all
to
of a
the
sudden,
hospital?
Yeah, I went to the hospital that night. I got the surgery like 3 days later to get it fixed.
Hey, you can show them your scars really quick, because you have a different scar than I do.
I got the 3 scars right on my fucking belly. So they did a different. They got one right here, one
Oh,
like
jeez.
right here, and right here.
Jeez.
Show the Facebook camera, too.
Yeah, so they can see that shit. I'm done at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when I was age 9, I had a hernia. Doctors couldn't figure out how I got one. But back then, it was basically an incision in the groin area. So
He got the one incision, so his was worse.
Yeah.
Your surgery was
my
far worse than
my
mine.
leg was locked up for about a week and a half afterwards.
Luckily, I was able to play the December 26th show out of like fighting with these two to try to play that fucking show.
Well, we didn't know.
I'm in pain right now just listening to this.
That shit
Hernias are not fun.
Literally the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I've broken, I think, 18 bones at this point.
Holy shit.
When I was a kid, I used to do really stupid
Have
shit.
you met the punk rock possum?
I'm a
He
really
calls himself a
stupid
possum for a
person.
reason.
So, watch me on the fucking tour. Just, like, see what happens. I'm going to be a fucking idiot. But, yeah. So, this was literally the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I blacked out completely from the pain that I was feeling that night. And 2 of my friends were there. And one of my friends is the one that takes me home at that point. I only remember getting put on that bench, getting put in her car, and then getting dropped off at home.
Yeah. It was.
My friend drove my
night.
truck that night because I was both drunk and in so much pain that I couldn't even speak coherently.
It was an interesting night.
Yeah.
So embarrassing
That's
moments.
my embarrassing
Zach,
moment.
what's yours?
Oh shit. Let me think here. I got kind of 2. That
We were
stands
in the
out.
bathroom and he started sucking my...
Today?
No, this is when you were sucking my cock. We traded off.
Yeah. We trade off.
On that
Every
note,
show,
I'm going to take a piss.
Every show, him and I trade off. As
We'll do a line off the
we
So-
do poppers, too, to kind of keep us in the mood.
What are friends for?
right? We're just friends. It's on the down low.
Friends. No, this is,
But,
this is literally just... It's what is it called?
Keep it on the down low?
No,
Fuck
no,
that.
no. It's
No homo?
no homo. Sure.
As long
no
as you say no homo,
No
it's
homo's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
But anyway, I have 2, and one is here with PCB, and actually one is in New Orleans on the streets.
Nolans.
Let's see, we played.
No.
We played. On St. Patrick's Day, I'm pretty sure it was at Sylvie's in Chicago. And I had the wireless, and I was running around doing my thing, and I went to go jump on the drum riser, and I cut myself short. I didn't jump high enough.
He cut himself because he was an emo.
Slammed my shin straight into the side of the drum riser and almost barreled straight into Andrew's drum kit.
Oh.
Amazingly, I caught myself, but there was a live video at the time, so everyone saw it. But I screenshotted each moment you saw me hit and then going down, of course.
And then going down.
I actually still got the mark on it, which amazingly has not wanting to heal all the way.
Has not wanting to heal.
Is that good or English? I'm a mortician, not a literature
You
expert.
can do it better, man.
You're supposed to read eulogies.
You're supposed to read something,
Supposed to listen
man.
to eulogies.
You cannot do it right,
Supposed to
man.
read goulagies.
Goulagies.
You googlies.
Googlies.
You googlies.
The only
What do you
other-
think I didn't know what a you googly was?
There was that where I almost fell into his kit, but I saved it and I came back up and it was an extreme amount of pain. Because my shins and calves are pretty weak because I got pinned between a pickup
Because
truck and
he's
a
old.
minivan.
Oh my god.
When I was 21, 22, when I was working as a security guard for Menards.
Jeez.
He's just old. He's lying.
So
He's got arthritis.
now that I put my biggest weakness out there, yeah, my legs aren't the greatest. There was one time though it made me think before that. It was totally my fault because I just did a little too much. Me and an old friend-
my whole body hurts right now listening to these.
Welcome to a punk band.
Right?
This is how we do. Like I said,
Lupo,
watch me
you
on
have
the
a
tour.
brutal scar on your leg. You shouldn't
Like,
talk. You're dumb
my-
too.
My legs hurt. My everything right here hurts.
Just imagine your small intestine pushing through your abdominal wall. That shit fucking sucked. But go on. We cut you off there.
No, the only other time was my own fault because me and an old friend of mine were playing music on the street. I used to play in a folk punk band in New Orleans when I lived down there.
You never told me that.
And
That's fucking awesome.
we played on the streets just to make some extra cash, right? Well, a lot of people who didn't have cash would come and bring a drink. Well, you're not smart enough to, like, hey, random stranger brought me a drink. Well, I'm going to fucking drink it anyway. So I kept drinking. I kept smoking some pot and drinking, smoking. I went way too far to where we're sitting there playing, and I was getting more into an acoustic song than I should have, and turned around and tried to, I don't know what the fuck I tried to do, but I slammed my head against a wall, a building, and blacked out for a little bit, crumpled up on the ground, and then came back to and started playing something random. Apparently, I was out for a couple minutes for a while. That story actually kept really quiet. My wife doesn't even know about that.
Well,
let's hope she's
the
not
Metal
watching.
Experience brings out the stories from all, so now
That's
it's out there.
Let's see, Eddie, have I had any other embarrassing moments besides Sylvie's when I planted my shin into the riser?
Negative. I got none.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
Yep. So
music-wise.
Yep.
All right. Well, we still got a track off of Trials of Survival that we haven't played yet. What is Hide Your Face about? Because it's spelled like
it's about
Jekyll
hiding
and
your
Hyde.
face.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Trials of Survival, we didn't mean for it, but it almost came out like a concept.
Are you okay over there?
It almost came out
Are you
as
sniffing it?
Down boy.
it almost Trials of Survival almost came out as a concept album in a way. The whole album, start to finish, is basically about the inner good battling the inner evil, and the ending is what you succumb to.
Hence the intro.
Yeah,
the intro is an expert from what? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
And it kind of sets up the whole storyline. And as you get further on in the story, you get to the point of remembering all the good times, but just after the good times fade, you fall back into that darkness, which is when time and fear, Carnival, that all hits. And then
Which were bitches to learn, by the way.
Bitches.
But the end of the album, it ends with an instrumental, which came from a guitar riff that I wrote, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. Handed it off to Zach, and Zach made this whole melodic, like...
See, what like a lot of the song is about, before I get in with that instrumental, it's about, like, say, Hide Your Face is, you got all this darkness behind you, but you put the mask on, and you continue forward. You hide what's really going on behind you. You put on that fake smile. And so the instrumental, what I did with that, listening to it and thinking that, okay, this album is like a concept album, what do I want to do with it, is actually the instrumental is based off the entire album. And what I did, what I did was I took a bunch of leads I put into the songs, and I put them in the instrumental in a chronological order. So you'll hear actually leads you'll hear parts of the song Lullaby, you'll hear parts of the song of Time and Fear. Time and Fear actually kind of starts the song, but it takes leads and parts of all the songs off the album, and I throw it in this instrumental. In the instrumental, you kind of get that mood for, like, everything's all right, everything's going fine, and then everything's spinning, and then the mood change, almost like bipolar or anything, and it changes, and now you're down this downward spiral, and then you swing back up in the very end of it.
And when it comes
That's really cool.
When it comes to Hide Your Face, it's almost the focal, I guess you could say, climax, because it's the matter of your main character, who's dealing with the battle of good and evil between himself, finally realizing shit ain't right. Where do you go from here?
That's true.
Pretty much the instrumental, yeah. It's all about kind of disorder.
All right, here we go. Hide Your Face off of Trials of Survival.
You'll say that I've got problems. And I know just how to solve them. Gonna punch and fight and beat all night. You have to stop sleeping on life. You're not every place that you are. Don't be so self-assured. You'll say that they can't fix me.
I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into...
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
Stuff like that?
yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever... Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's... Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
You're listening to The Metal Experience.
We've assembled a collection of bands who have drummers.
I do magic.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick. Now sit back and listen.
All right, we are back with Metal Experience. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze and the guys in Prison City Brigade. And that was another song off of Trials of Survival called Hide Your Face. Very awesome. I like that concept of your guitar tones coming in with all the different songs. That's awesome. Not a lot of people do that where they come full circle with everything that they've done on an album like that. That's very unique.
Well, that's the thing about Trials of Survival is that, as I said, we did not mean it to become like a concept, but as you listen further on, it's like, guys, we wrote a concept album.
It just kind of warps into that at some point.
Yeah, it kind of just worked into it.
In which I just pretty much figured that out as I was listening to it and trying to learn the songs from it to
There's
like play
wrong
with you
with
guys.
that,
I was
though.
like, holy shit. Honestly, I'm very impressed with that album.
But in all reality, Zach actually brought that all to life.
Thank you.
Go Zach.
Yes, that was my compliment to you tonight. By the way, I had lyrics earlier at work right when I first walked in, and I lost them.
Oh, no.
Son of a patootie.
Did he really? Oh, god damn it.
Blame Amazon.
We could have had something there. I'm telling you.
Anyway.
So what shows do you guys have coming
Something
up currently?
new.
Actually, our last show of the year is going to be this Saturday at Looney Bin for Toys for Tots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over in Kankakee, Bourbonnais. I don't know the fucking borders. But
Bradley, I don't know.
Nice.
But, no, we're playing with Patrol at Dawn, Oblivion Zero, Consume Divide, Left
of Reason.
And another Lost Year. I should not have you two together in the same room ever again.
I don't know who found that more amusing, Luca because he's laughing so hard, or him because he like honked it like it was a clown nose.
The noise is so perfect.
Luca, why didn't you get a picture of that? Have him do it again right in front of you because you have
What's
the perfect.
picture?
You have the perfect
picture doesn't
angle.
do anything. It was the noise that went with it. I can't even do it.
It's all on live. But no,
Insane.
Saturday, and the sad part is that basically, when you look at Trials of Survival and everything like that, Saturday will be Andrew's last show with us as a band. And then...
He's not dying.
No, well, marriage is kind of a death, but still.
Yes, it is. Take it from me. I've been married and divorced. Thank you very much.
I'm
23 years old.
I'm married. It's going all right.
Anyway, but it's Andrew's last show with PCB. We have a few things planned for the end to introduce Jose. You know,
Jose Jalapeno on a stick.
On the stick. Where's my green card? It's in my other stick.
I'm actually gonna try to get a Jeff Dunham fucking Jose now, just for that point.
I think I might actually have one.
Sick as the
I
stick.
think Puck actually has one.
But he's a virgin.
All you do is just get a stick and a jalapeno and make it talk.
We
Actually,
could
we
shove
just tie
a stick up my
to
ass if you
yeah,
guys
there
want.
we go.
How are you gonna play the drum? That's gonna go up your spine.
He's used to it, man. It's fine.
You can do it. I believe in him.
Being
That's
a
not
Mormon.
true. I'm a virgin, sir.
On being a Mormon, right? Oh.
Ow!
Anyway,
Mormon.
but no.
Hey, no, that's true because I didn't have any Catholic priests.
Anyway, but yes, Saturday,
Merman.
Looney Bin, Toys for Tots.
Zach promised me this was going to be professionally answered questions for the rest of the interview.
I never used the word professionally. I said we will properly answer the
shit about
questions.
me.
He just said answered.
This is why you guys should not hire a person into your band who is under the age of like 26, okay?
But no, Saturday, Looney Bin Toys for Tots. Andrew's last show with the band.
December 7th.
December 7th.
Saturday, December 7th, yes.
I put that on Bands in Town,
it's-
too, myself.
It is $12 at the door with donation and $15 without.
So you're telling me your friends were here but couldn't watch the podcast?
Oh no, those guys are.
We don't know
regulars.
them. I don't know who
those
those guys
guys.
are. I
Man,
just
they
bought
were
them
totally
a birthday shot.
bromancing you.
The one
Yeah,
dude with
I
the
felt
blonde
the real
hair.
bond right there.
It was
I
his
bought
birthday.
them. We
Yeah.
bought them a birthday
Jose
shot.
bought them
Gotcha.
shots
How
earlier.
nice.
I bought him a shot too for his birthday.
They're really cool.
They're the
people.
ones that kept walking back and forth, and we kept telling them, you can come hang out with
Like,
us.
dude, come say
okay.
something.
That's
Harass
why.
us.
That's
Do
why I
this
asked
shit,
you
man.
earlier if you had
Gotcha,
that. What was that
gotcha.
apple? Crown apple.
Apple.
Crown apple.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Crown-
my God. That shit is
I
so
took a
fucking
shot at Crown
smooth.
Apple with that dude. That guy.
Let's
that was
not get into
Alright,
Crown
time
Apple.
out, time out.
Dangerous.
And we're out.
Let's get into Crown Apple
Anyway.
and
got
talk about
the-
when Eddie had
Moving
Crown
on from the
Apple.
Crown Apple.
Anyway.
Mics are going off.
Anyway.
All right. So
Next
the
question.
December 7th show is the last one for this year. Anything booked for next year yet?
Oh,
we do
is
have-
there?
Well, we're doing a private, kind of, I guess, private.
Yeah, we're
New
doing a
Year's Eve.
private DIY New Year's Eve house party with a Silent Truth and Chaos Ordinance.
There's a couple. There's like maybe another show sometime next
Wasn't
year.
there
or
one
something?
January 12th as well?
January.
No,
12th?
no.
There was another one after that.
January 12th we had joked about trying to get Liars Club, but you never told me to do it or not to do it, so I didn't try.
that's
Well,
my
there
bad.
was another one even like after that that we were kind of talking about.
That comes down to John Partitello's birthday from A Silent
Sure.
Truth in February.
February.
The only
Yeah, that
show
month.
after that would be the album release show.
There's a new album.
talking
There's a new album.
Oh my god! Oh
When is this coming out?
Well,
follow our Facebook, you would know.
Well,
the listeners need to know. I might know, but other people need to know.
Don't be
So-
a jackass.
I've been a jackass my entire life. You're gonna tell me to stop now?
So
No, I
anyway, we have been teasing some things over Facebook and everything. I mean, we played Brower House a few weeks ago.
Couple of teases.
We dropped a new song to
Oh,
end our
yeah.
set that night.
like that.
Which you can find on our YouTube page. Anthony Valezzo.
Anthony Belezzo
So?
actually took a video of the whole song, everything.
You can find it on our YouTube page.
The song's called Failure by Design. But today we actually reached 4,000 likes on Facebook.
That's awesome.
Which we never thought we'd actually reach that. Actually, personally, starting the band, all that, I never thought we'd get that far.
You just pretty much thought like, oh, this is just a spare time thing that I can do.
No, but basically what it came down to is with reaching that, it's like, all right, let's make this something special. We dropped the album cover and everything for our next CD release, which will be our third
And it's
series.
sweet.
Dark Days Design
We
did a
are-
great job on it.
Absolutely.
Album
We
is
are
called Rough
huge-
Skeletons.
We are a
And-
huge fan of the art design. That was amazing. I personally am like a huge fan of that design.
But the album title came from a conversation between Zach and I, because Rough Skeletons, we thought it'd be a song title, and it didn't work with the song that Zach had sent me. But for this whole album, Zach basically has written not just like the leads from Trials, but he has taken the initiative, written the guitar parts, everything. No, it's not the bunny.
In all honesty,
It's absolutely the bunny.
in complete honesty, this album would just like not be anything at all at this point without Zach.
Yeah.
Much
I'll just
love
give him
here.
homage at this point because he's really worked his ass off for this.
I've been
He has worked his ass off.
We've been talking about a long time for doing another album and kind of just still once again playing with our creativity and what we can do and ourselves challenging ourselves as musicians and what's the next step? How can we take this? So a lot of this album, pretty much I wrote in all the guitar and a lot of the main music composition, I guess, of this album that we'll be releasing next year. But Rough Skeletons was one of the songs I wrote and sent out, and the music is still there, but we changed the name. So Eddie came up with the idea, why don't we name it Rough Skeletons? It kind of started everything. It kind of kicked off this album. So it's just like, it's kind of a momentum kind of name.
And the thing about it, too, is
a memento.
Yes, and in regards to Rough Skeletons, the reason we also ran with it is the simple fact that Zach has been sending us nothing but, hey, here's this song on guitar, fully based. It's basically a skeleton. It's our job to put the pieces together.
That's exactly the reason
I
why
shoot
he
out the
gave us that
skeleton.
exact time. That's why we decided that the name of the album should even be that, because of the fact that he's given us like every single one of the tracks as a rough skeleton of the album, and we all just kind of added onto it on our own.
And we've made a body.
And so far, I've been pretty much kind of exploring, like, say, that punk genre. And a lot of my favorite punk is horror punk, especially, say, like Wednesday 13
Shout out
with
to Harley
Murder
Poe.
Dolls. Those are two of my
That's
absolute
you?
favorite. That is me. Those are some of my Wednesday 13, anything by him. I love that
shaved
guy.
the
He's
beard.
amazing.
He
Why-
shaved the
Every
beard.
picture, you look different.
Yeah, this is why a lot of people don't recognize me.
Even like right
That's the
now,
point.
I'm looking at
It
your
takes-
pictures. I'm looking at you. I'm like, these are different people.
It takes a lot of skill. It takes so much skill to stay this low key. All right.
So I've been I took like the kind of like the building block, the clay block of what punk is, and punk style. I know I told you earlier, I'm a man of many faces.
No, that's him. That's at the Forge.
He's built upon it like
Zach.
absolutely
Which
no
one?
other that I've seen.
I think is that one of my favorite pictures at the Forge where I'm looking over giving the eye. Yeah. It was a funny story. I saw like some movement in the corner, right? That was my very first show with PCB.
That was
Fuck, that doesn't look like you at all.
Let me see.
He's the left frog.
Okay.
that was the Dread
Give
Pirate.
me your phone. Let
Okay,
me see
so
these
I'm done.
pictures.
I'm done.
so at the Forge, that picture where I'm getting a little bit of the eye right there.
The people's eyebrow.
Absolutely. I saw her move, taking pictures, and I'm like, what the fuck is over there? And I saw her, and I just kept the pose looking at her. I'm like, yeah, I got the picture.
You're
And it
like,
was,
hang on,
one
let
of
me
my
look good for
favorite
this.
pictures. The frog one with the guitar, actually, my wife showed me that, and I was like, I have to have it, because for many years, since like high school, my nickname has been the Frog from a lot of people.
Why?
I'm not sure.
Zach,
Not entirely
Zach,
too sure.
Zach, tell them what you told me in regards to your idea of happiness with your African bullfrog.
No, okay. For one, I love frogs.
Okay.
I've been known as the Frog because, like, the whole French joke, Frenchmen are frogs. I have a lot of French in me, so I've been called the Frog a lot.
had quite a bit of French in him.
I had a lot of French in me. So my nickname just started off from a lot of people, the Frog, and my wife even still calls me the Frog. I have a joke like I play PlayStation 4 and it's the Frog. But so the Frog with playing a Fender guitar, smoking a cigarette was like perfect. What'd you say?
No, Woody.
What'd you say?
Don't repeat it. Don't repeat it.
So yeah, that's just how the Frog came about. My wife still will call me the Frog every now and then.
Don't
My
you
family
say
and
it.
friends do. Do it. Say it to me.
Do it. Call me the Frog. That's what I tell him.
I got nothing.
When him and I trade off, I call him the Frog.
But
He
I
calls
got
me
the other
possum.
nickname Dread Pirate Roberts because I had long dreadlocks at one point, which I miss
Brock.
so much.
I
But
had long dread
I'm
cock.
also I studied piracy since like from the beginning, first known records.
Ever since
back
he's gone
in
on
Egypt.
piratebay.com.
Yeah, see?
yeah.
Every single picture on your profile is someone new. Like,
He's the man of many faces.
But I studied piracy literally from the beginning of, say, the Egyptian period in Greece.
Skull.
I
when it
told
was-
you he
yeah,
had dreads.
Skull.
to even modern
you look
piracy
like the
nowadays.
dude from In This Moment in that picture.
I'll take that as a compliment. The
Guy from In
guitarist.
This Moment, the guitarist.
Who? Sorry, I don't like in this moment.
Ah.
Neither do I.
I like the singer.
Doesn't look
Yeah.
like
Everybody,
Yeah.
every man
Yeah.
likes the singer.
That's literally when I met
that is my
him.
next
Yeah.
ex-wife right there.
If it wasn't for the career I'm going in, well, not music, but like kind of a backup plan, the career I'm going in, I had to cut off my hair because I was growing my hair out to do dreadlocks again. But believe it or not, I had 53 dreadlocks, almost about all either from dime to nickel sized. I have a lot of hair. I have broken many clippers and everything else. So I had long hair. I said, fuck this. I'm going to put it in dreadlocks. I love dreadlocks.
Did you dread
So I
your
did.
pubes?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
The carpet's got to match the drink.
Yeah. The carpet's got to match. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck
stole
is
the
going
joke
on
from me, you
tonight?
ass.
So anyway, back on
These are
topic.
taking so many different turns.
What's the topic?
New album.
New album, yes. So I've been working.
Jesus Christ.
This all just went sidetracked like a motherfucker. God damn.
We were
So-
talking about dreadlock pubes. We're like, wait, back on track. What were we talking about?
Wait,
The
wait,
new
new
album.
album.
So I can grab them. I'm having some fun. She's going down, and I'm going like,
Oh my god. Anyway, but yes.
Slap her in the face a little bit. Just
Yes.
So the new album, Dreaded Penis album, Rough Skeletons. I started working on a bunch of music because that's one thing I always done. I have a terabyte hard drive connected to my little in-home studio, and it's filled with music, absolutely filled with music. And I played everything from 6-string, 7-string, all different kind of tunings, all different kind of styles. I try to learn as much as I can. And so with this sound coming around, and we're talking about doing it, I started putting a bunch of guitar tracks together. I started doing the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar and this and that and changing things as much as I can. Like, I'd lose nights of sleep over it, but I don't give a fuck. I'd rather write the music. But I put in everything, you know. I come from a background mostly playing metal and death metal, black metal. And then I started getting into 80s hair metal. And I started getting more into blues.
You're jumping all over the spectrum.
Dude,
Have you met Zach?
I am anything from straight from black metal to like alternative to rock to punk to hip hop to rap to country to folk. I am everything.
As I said,
everywhere. Bluegrass. I even played banjo, but I donated away for a benefit. I donated my banjo away, which I miss my banjo. I'm dedicated, okay?
Well, you know what?
I
You
was the one
got
who
rid of the
wanted to
banjo,
tell
now
that.
you have an electric kazoo.
They have
Yes,
electric
but-
kazoo, dude.
When it comes down to
But
it,
I tried to mix everything pretty much I have in my past and all the styles I learned and tried to grab that like clay block of punk and twist it and contort it into something different, something unique, something that I really like and starting to play and
Unique
been
New
working
York.
and working on.
and
Unique
that's
New
like
York.
said
Unique New York, unique
basically
New
the
York,
best
unique
way
New
to put
York.
it. As we said earlier about Trials of Survival and War on Boredom, if you don't like a song, go to the next one. You'll enjoy it. Rough Skeletons is basically just another step in Prison City Brigade's evolution.
It's more so that we're confident on the fact that you
We're
will
growing.
like that song
Like-
and you will like the night.
Oh my god, it's amazing to hear. Like I took these songs, right, and I sent them out to everyone, and everyone practiced them at home, and then we all get together and we start working on one of them, and you just
Writing lyrics
see
is the
everyone-
hardest part.
You, see
You really think
everyone
so?
just-
Are you sure about that?
you see everyone with like out hesitation or without question, like, oh my god, I love this. This is amazing. It's so different. This is awesome, and jump on it, and we're all just starting to roll on that train together, and to see everyone change a little bit of their creativity, to get out there creatively and just do what they do, and it's been amazing so far.
I mean, hell, Zach actually told me before we even started, he's like, I want you to actually sing more. Excuse me? I haven't sang in about 10 plus years. Excuse me?
Oh, okay. What about Mr. Karaoke Nights here?
Karaoke's a different
You
story.
see
I
that singing now,
know
isn't it?
those songs.
He knows them. He already knows the key and the pitch and each one of the
See?
notes that he already
Jose
has
gets
to hit.
it. Mr. American Idiot over here.
Thank you very much.
I remember.
I sound a lot like Billy Joel.
Yes, he does.
Billy
But
Joel, Billy Joe Armstrong. Not like Billy Joel. I wish I
Billy
could sound
Joel.
like Billy Joel.
The fucking
But-
piano man.
Sing us a song, you piano man. Sing us a song tonight.
That was good harmony.
See, we've been working hard.
Check out the Prison
Don't
City
add Luco
Brigade
to
Barbershop Quartet. Thank you very much.
There you go.
But no, this next album, again, it's just
An evolution of
pretty much
evolving more and growing more musically and what we can do.
So it sounds like with this Rough Skeletons and seeing how you've studied piracy, there's a theme going. So maybe
No,
you need a
nope.
pirate-themed video.
no pirates.
Nope.
No
What?
pirates.
No
but
pirates. No pirates.
A pirate themed video, I'd totally be down for.
Of course you
That would be fun.
We're just going to shoot it in your basement. You have a full built bar that
Oh, yeah.
looks like
Okay,
a
so
ship.
That would actually be fun.
In my basement, I got my own little
Ideas.
studio room. I pretty much took over when we moved there, like 3 or 4 years ago from New Orleans. Me and my wife, I took over the basement. She has the upstairs and all that. That's fine. Downstairs basement setup, I took that shit over. So she wanted. We talking about building a bar. So I built a bar out of pallets and a bunch of spare wood I found, and kind of stained it to where it looks like an old shipwrecked like pirate ship, like an old schooner. That's destroyed.
Honestly,
And we even have a little,
awesome.
the skeleton pirate got for Halloween that comes up on the side of the bar. We call it a snatch pirate because it's like lined up perfectly with their nice. So we got that. And I got
You never told me that.
Gotta
dude.
have
That's
a
hilarious.
snatch pirate, dude.
Hey, you have to have a snatch pirate.
You never told me that. That's
And
hilarious.
because I've had him for
On
with
the hunt
me,
for
I
snatch.
have Captain
Arr,
Bartholomew
gimme
Black
one.
Bart Roberts' flag. I got Captain Jack Rackham's flag. I got Captain Blackbeard's flag. And I hung them up around. My buddy found by a dumpster one of those old Captain Morgan stand where it's the front of the schooner and it's got sail up. So I grabbed that, threw it in there, and the bar is fully stacked with whatever you want. It is like loaded.
This is very true.
Fully stacked with hard liquor, not beer.
No, I don't fuck
beer.
around.
We
We're
don't have
drinking
any
hard liquor.
coolers at this point. That's why.
Well, I do now have a mini fridge in
where
my
you
little
could store
studio
like
where I could
6
put beer.
beers.
I have more than that. Like,
Get out of here! I brought like a Coors
like
banquet
8
of 6
beers,
of them, and
thank
you weren't
you.
even able to like put it past that.
that's because there are already beers in there.
Anyway, but no, the next album
do you
is
want me to do
basically
with this?
just an evolution, you know. And we're keeping with the same mindset to a point where we call
I'm
our
confused.
family the Brigade.
We are still bridge.
Here's what's
At
going
that
on
point,
here.
all are welcome to hang out with us. All are welcome to talk with us. All are welcome to join our
Sorry, this is
family.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, but all right, Morgan, what's your next question?
Coneheads.
Well, we were gonna wrap up with some of our just announcements because we have one last track from you guys that we were gonna play. But before my announcements, just
tonight.
Jesus Christ, we're on a derailed train.
Yep.
We really are.
Yep.
Welcome to Prison City Brigade.
Welcome to having me in the fucking band.
so
dude.
let's go over just everything that we took a week off because of the holiday last week.
Good idea.
But we did actually record an episode of our show
What?
in reverse. We had we were on Michael Maskey's YouTube channel show
Coffee
Time. That episode was just released yesterday on his YouTube channel. We shared it on our page. Really fun time. It was different to have somebody interviewing us and
When people ask me questions, now I understand, like, when you ask someone a question, like, I have no idea. I don't know. Like, don't put me on the spot.
And here's the thing: after 5 times of being here, that's why we ran away with it tonight.
And I realized how dumb I am answering questions and how much I use the same words over and over, and I make myself look really bad.
Writing lyrics, I know your pain.
I realize
I'm here for comedic release purposes.
I realize that I'm exactly the same person that I. Like, it's the same. It's the same.
But it was a lot of fun, and we.
But people are like,
are-
oh, tell us about yourself. I'm like, penis, penis,
We had a
I
good-
have a full body.
penis.
I think I played instruments at this point.
Well, Fabian was there, and he helped Mike do the interview, and then we hung out and caught up and got to explore the space that they're at and drop off a bunch of our business cards underneath doors that we thought were metal looking.
We're metal bands.
So it was a good time, and we're excited to see his show grow and what he does next. He's got some exciting interviews coming up. He's just getting ready to release the interview he just did with Xeno Predator and his first episode of Riff City, where they do guitar riffs.
Guitar riffage.
Yeah, so it's fun. So go follow Maskey on YouTube. He's got some fun stuff up there. Crusaders.
Tonight.
Okay, done. We're not going to get anywhere if you keep talking. No microphones. Done. Our friends in Crusaders released their album for the Unholy Grail this past weekend too, so make sure you check that out, pick it up, stream it, whatever you want to do with it. There's some shows coming up this weekend that we will be attending for Forever Deaf Fest. It's finally here. It kicks off on Thursday at Cobra Lounge. That's the pre-party show. And that is going to be with our friends in Matianic headlining. And then every time Everything Must Die. And then I keep, Glory Hole Guillotine.
Let's leave the butcher out of this.
Yeah, Glory Hole Guillotine and Inner Decay all playing. So that's $10 for the pre-party that you can attend this Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday, it switches over to the Beat Kitchen. And there's a whole lineup for both days listed on the page, but I'm just going to read off who's playing just for you to know. Broken Hope headlining one day, The Skull headlining the other. Then you got Huntsman, Reaping Asmadia coming down from Minnesota, Snow Burial, Beyond Death, Inebrium, Canyon of the Skull, Bloodletter, Meckerber, and then again, that's Friday and Saturday at Beat Kitchen. So you can buy tickets online or you can get them at the door. You can get 2-day passes. You can get 1-day passes. That's all available, but time is running out to save yourself a little bit of money and get it before online. Also going on, wait for it. Yeah, there's so much shit.
Don't forget Saturday at the Looney Bin, Toys for Tots.
The Looney Bin. Toys for Tots is always a good thing to do around the holidays.
And December 8th at the WC Social Club.
Another Toys for Tots.
And then there is also December 7th, which unfortunately, all of us have shows to go to. But if you're in the area of West Chicago at Cairo Ale House, our friends in Dead Awake, Archers, Tonson, American Sling, Isles of Aura, and Buried in Effigy are all going to be playing. And that's a $10 show that you can attend out at Cairo Ale House. I don't know what you're doing, but out of the corner of my eye, it looks very bizarre. Please stop right now and put your shirt down.
First, major talking.
This just got weird.
On this show again.
Just a shout out
Always welcome
to Fabian, who he just announced the Fabulous fucking Fabian Fest 5.
Heyo!
Fabian is turning 42. And Cobra Lounge, Saturday, March 14th of 2020, you can see him play with a bunch of bands. Battle Royal, Square It Off, First Jason, Johnny Vomit, Vicious Attack. You can go to Cobra Lounge. So mark that date in your calendar for that. Our friends
I won't be in town at that point.
Well, our friends in Immortal Bird kickoff tour this coming weekend. In December, they start on the 7th. Then they're touring through the 20th. You can catch them in Chicago on the 20th, headlining Empty Bliss. I have no idea where that is. We'll have to look that up.
Where?
Empty
Phoenix
Bliss.
Is Arizona.
No, it says Chicago. Phoenix Bliss.
Chicago.
Empty Bliss. I don't know what that is. But anyway, that's really cool and excited for them. And they announced that they are opening this Thursday for Cattle Decapitation, Atheist, Author, and Punisher, and Vitriol at the Metro. So that is a very good show for them to have jumped on last minute. So make sure if you're available Thursday to check them out playing there.
Morgan,
and then
pause real quick. You guys, you've seen MacGruber, right? Where he's banging the ghost, his ghost wife on the grave. He's like, I'm gonna fucking squirt.
Oh my God, done. Our friends in, all right, wow. Our friends in Bind the Sacrifice just got added to the Born of Osiris, Oceano, Car Bomb, and the Last 10 Seconds of Life show happening at Shut up! Dirty Nelly's December 15th. All the band members have tickets. If you're interested in the pre-sales, make sure you hit up Bind the Sacrifice. That's going to be December 15th at Dirty Nelly's. So, God, I lost my train of thought because of this asshole over here.
I was like,
Total derailment.
Anyway,
pause for 1 second.
No more pause. We're wrapping up. We're done with pauses.
I think Morgan.
Done, Luca. Next week on the show, we're going to have Victims back on.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus is right.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
So you can come out and hang out with us at Fitz's Bear Keys in Uptown Elmhurst. We go from about 8 till 10:30, 11, depending on the time that we got, and
Depending on the assholes
Depending on
she
if there's a
has.
bunch of jackasses on the microphone.
I mean, you made it to 11. The episode's 2.5 hours.
You made it to 11.
So Victims will be back with us next week, and then
we can keep going.
ending
keep going. I got a
2019,
lot
we
more
have
to
on
say.
December 17th Tides Cult joining us for their first time. So we are going to have 2 more awesome episodes to end the year with, and looking forward to those. And then to end tonight off, we have a very exciting
Oh, I want to end tonight off so hard.
debut from Prison City Brigade.
All right, before we air this, just keep in mind, it's just the mix.
See, okay.
Hold on.
I'm going to steal
Zach,
this from Eddie.
Steal it.
We want to give you all listeners something a little bit special, as we're still in the studio right now finishing everything up.
Something special.
We're still in the studio finishing everything up. We want to give you guys something a little bit special, a little sneak peek of the next up-and-coming album that will come out early next year. This is a song called Failure by Design, and this is just a rough mix of it. Nice little sneak peek for all y'all. Love you.
Thank you so much, guys, for letting us debut this. This is really exciting.
Thank you. Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. Where
on
can
the
everybody
drums for
find
this one.
everything Prison City Brigade?
Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, Google
We're on
Play.
pretty much all streaming services.
Yeah, we're all over.
Facebook, Instagram, those are our biggest ones.
If you just Google us, we'll turn up.
We'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming back.
Turn down for what? Turn up for everything. Turn down for nothing.
About the ocean like a ship on roaring waves. Your life played in masquerade. Now see the truth to your grandest skies. Try as you might to hold it together. Now you're cracking at the seam somehow. Now we see who you really are. Hold on, just hold on. Better days are on the way. Hold on, just hold on. Someday they will come your way. You've been wasting all your time, drinking yourself dry, being nothing but a failure. Fighting, wasting all your time, bleeding yourself dry, being nothing but a failure by design. So here we are again, my friend, trying to find the means to an end. Now we see through all your lies. Try as you might to stand on your feet, you stay down on your knees. Now we see how you came to be. Hold on, just hold on. Better days are on the way. Hold on, just hold on. Someday they will come your way. You've been wasting all your time, bleeding yourself dry, being nothing but a failure. Like it, wasted all your time, drinking yourself dry, being nothing but a failure by design. So tell me how's this gonna go? Or do you not care anymore? Because it's your life and yours alone. Every time it's the same fight. And every time you won't listen. So I guess that's it. Goodbye.